problems we cannot solve, we should always be reverting to these people. Okay. And I also like to thank all of you again for coming in our first collab. So far I have not been attending any collaboration of this kind from various agencies. So this is the first time. Hopefully besok lusa Bang Malik ke Abang Razali ke can conduct such talks. And also, why is this riba so particularly interest me? Because of two reasons. One, I have clients who always ask me, bang, betul ke bang kita boleh beli rumah with high quantum of loans? Would it be constituting riba? Riba kan salah kan dosa kan neraka, seram. So which is why I've been pestering people like Ustaz Kamal lah, and some other Ustaz friends for guidance. And then what struck me most was this particular agent who actually left the industry just because of riba. How many of you have this kind of problems like me? Ada? Or you have no qualms about whatever that we're going to talk and discuss later? No? Malu? Later, okay. Later on, bila kita ada these questions, Ustaz welcome you to ask as and when. Just raise up your hand. My handsome usher, my pretty ushers will pass you the mic for you to ask questions. Okay? You don't have to worry or wait till the session proper ends. Okay. Today's session is only chargeable at $5. Other mosques have charged $30 to $35 because the intent is never about to make money. As you can see, the auditorium is full. We make a lot of money from this session today. and then we are blessed. You just mineral water, epok-epok will come later on. Nanti you makan tak too soggy kan. So later epok-epok will come. We are blessed to have some kind sponsors like this. Hopefully they be rewarded by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala in bountiful.
Assalamualaikum.
Ni tu Ustaz Hakim?
No.
Bukan? Sorry. Okay. Without further ado, bang siapa bang? Syamil. Ini Syamil, ejen hartanah juga. Okay. Without further ado, I would like to call upon Ustaz. Sorry. Sabar. We will break there will be no lunch. There will be only toilet break if you want to go toilet, but don't break the toilet. No lunch will be provided. Hopefully you will have a little bit of snacks outside later on. Lunch will be available after this, but bring your own money. There will be cordon bleu, chicken, McDonald's. Okay, bring your own money. Okay, without further ado, I shall call upon Ustaz Kamal Mokhtar to the stage. I just skip, sorry. Majlis ingin mengundang Ustaz Kamal Mokhtar ke atas pentas.
Macam itu rasa dia smart. Test. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Innal hamdalillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlil fala hadiya lahu. Wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarika lah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Tak sangka Mr. Nice ni candi orang dia, kelakar orang dia. Tu pasal memang Mr. Nice lah dia. Okay, and before I start, I would like to thank probably the organizer, Encik Nizam, for calling me to share my experience and also what I have. And for organizing, I think it's a big task for him lah. And also I would like to thank everyone for giving time. And I know everybody is busy with their engagements and so on. So time will pass very fast. Okay, we have up to 2 o'clock, and And this session, you can ask anything. But after this, don't ask me anything anymore. Because there are people WhatsApp me, email me, I'm sorry I cannot answer. Too long. And it's laborious to answer. So if you want to ask anything today, please do so. If you ask me after this session, I have to charge you lah, professional fee. Okay. And I hope everybody can come down lah, because dia punya I have to write here, so a bit small. So kalau boleh dapat turun a bit more cozy. So if you want to ask anything, please raise your hand, and you can ask whether is it about riba, you want to ask about zakat, you want to ask about matrimonial issues pun boleh tanya juga. Because my experience is that for 9 years I've been in the Majlis Fatwa, and also for about the same time I'm so involved in ARB, Asatiza Recognition Board. For about the same time also, 10 years I'm involved in the appeal court. Okay, appeal court, one of the judges to decide on the cases of matrimonial asset and distribution of asset, custody battle and so on. Meaning if let's say cases that has been decided in the Sharia court, they want to appeal, then they come to they meet us. Okay, so I've been the Sharia committee, Sharia advisor for Maybank for the last 5 years. Okay, so if you want to ask any issues, please do so. Just raise your hands. You don't have to wait, so that it'll be more interactive. Okay, during my presentation. Okay, kalau yang belakang tu mungkin kalau tak dapat baca, and you can access these slides. I've given Cik Nizam the punya PowerPoints, and also my article. I've written an article on is Singapore government savings bond riba. Okay, you know that the Singapore governments have also issued bonds. Bonds for either 1 year up to 10 years. You can buy for $500 up to a maximum of about $50,000 or $100,000. The government will give you a returns of about 2%. Okay, so I've argued in that article, and I've given according to the link that though the name is riba, no, the name is interest, but we have to differentiate between interest, whether interest is profit or interest is riba, because today we use the same terminology, but if we look behind the principle and the implementation of that structure, it is actually not riba. Okay, that's why you have to look deeper, because normally people use interest very loosely, so you have to understand the what happens behind it. Okay, to differentiate between interest which is profit or interest which is riba. Okay. So okay, I will start my talk. So I don't have a clicker, sorry. Cuba tadi pun kedai belum buka lagi lah, tak sempat nak beli clicker tadi. Okay. Alright. So we have our clicker. So riba, firstly, is that the meaning of riba. Okay, when we talk about riba, it is actually growth or increment or addition. Alright, that is the linguistic meaning of riba. Alright, and when the Arabs, they use the term riba, okay, riba is actually, they say, is a noun. When you go into you use the verb, then it's roba. Okay, roba yarbu. Okay, so roba al-malu. When they say roba al-malu, that means the wealth has increased. Okay, when they say roba al-shajaru, they say the tree has grown, okay, has increased in size. Alright, and normally riba has been defined by our scholars as, okay, kullu ziyadatin mashrutatin fil aqdi khaliyatun an iwadin mashru'. Okay, so it's every conditional increase in a contract that is not part of a lawful transaction. When you do any transaction, okay, if it is not lawful, we consider that transaction or akad batil, void. Okay. So immediately, even if you have signed, you have witnesses, but because of certain elements in that contract which is not allowed in Islam, then immediately the contract is considered as batal. Alright. So in this contract, so if let's say there is an increase, that means when you have an agreement between two parties, or you can have agreement between 3 or more people. Okay, if there is an increase which is not allowed in Islam, then that is not that contract is void. Okay, right. And some scholars they define riba as kullu qardin jara naf'an fahuwa riba. They say every loan, okay, every loan which brings you benefit, it is considered as riba. It's not just money. Okay, riba meaning you gain any benefit because of the loan that you have given, that is also considered as riba. So if let's say I give a loan for a person for $10,000 and it says, "Such, I give you a right back." Okay, I give you a right back. That right is also considered as riba because that is the benefit that I derive because of that loan. Okay, so some scholars are so particular. Imam Shafi'i when he talks about riba, so he says, even if I've given a loan to somebody and I just walk and take the shade of his house, that shade that I benefit is considered as riba. Okay, up to that level. Okay, so next. And meaning of riba, okay, nak baca pun jauh sangat, susah. Okay, here the riba in terms of language used in the Quran. Okay, in Surah Fussilat verse 39, Allah says, "Wa min ayatihi annaka taral arda khashi'atan fa idza anzalna 'alaiha al-ma' ihtazzat wa rabat." Okay, so amongst his signs of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is that when the earth is barren, when there's nothing on the earth, but when we send down rain, then you see the ground starts to stir, and then you see growth because you see some plants growing. So here when you say growth, the word used in the Quran is rabat, raba or rabat. Okay, so that is the meaning of riba in the Arabic term. Okay, next one. And also on the ruling of riba, there is no khilaf. There's no differences of opinion. You say about one scholar who says riba is halal, riba is, or there's another different. No, it is actually ijma. And there is no issue with regards to riba. Okay, it is unlawful according to the Quran. You find that all the verses of the Quran says riba is haram. And when you go into Sunnah, the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he talks about the severity of riba, okay, and also ijma. Ijma, that means from the time of the companions, from the time of the scholars, tabi'in until now, all scholars will say that riba is haram without any question. There is no excuse for riba. And also there is a hadith was stated by Abu Mas'ud. He says the Prophet ﷺ condemns those who consume riba. Okay, condemn meaning laknat. When you talk about laknat, that means you are far from the rahmat of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Allah is angered with you. That is the status of riba in Islam. Okay, Allah condemns those who consume riba, who takes riba and want to benefit from riba. Their representatives, wakil, from the wakil, that means if you represent somebody in a transaction in the involvement of riba, and the writers, those who write, because when you talk about riba or you talk about loan, it must be written down. Okay, it must be recorded. All transaction must be recorded, and it must be signed by two parties, and also you have to have witnesses. So if you have the witness, these two witnesses also will be involved in this condemnation. And added, and the Prophet says, everyone is the same. That means whether you take directly, whether you become the agent, whether you are the writer, whether you are the witness, everybody is on the same level. Okay, so there is no difference, and you can say, "Oh, I'm just the writer." No, you are also involved. Okay, same level as the person who takes the riba. Okay, so next one. And the ruling of riba. Okay, Allah says very clearly here. He says, "Alladhina ya'kuluna riba la yaqumuna illa kama yaqumul ladhi yatakhabbathu asy-syaitanu minal mas." Okay, those who eat riba. Okay, riba, usury. Normally you talk about riba, it's translated as usury. okay, will not stand on the day of judgment except like the standing of a person has been touched by the shaitan. That means has been touched by the jinn. Have you seen somebody kena rasuk jin tak? Nampak? You can Google kat dalam YouTube. You kata Islamic exorcism. Islamic exorcism. You can see people when somebody recite ayat Quran to somebody who has been rasuk syaitan ke, kena sihir ke, nanti dia you have seen that, Okay, so suddenly people just macam meracau lah. Meracau, you cannot stand and you cannot control yourself. Okay, that is the situation of people who takes riba. Alright, so it has though that person has been controlled by the jinn or by shaitan. Yeah, next one. And also the sin. Okay, the sin that will be born. And if you look at riba, okay, riba is actually one of the severe or the greatest sin. Okay, more than drinking alcohol, if you want to consider. Okay, because when you talk about pure earnings, we are not talking about, because our community, we are very concerned about what we eat. Okay, nasi ni ataupun daging ni kita kata is it halal? Okay, but we do not look into whether the income is halal or not. Both is very important. Okay, and the effect of eating something which is haram, either you take directly because of the food or because of the income. The first thing that will be affected is that your dua will not be accepted. Okay, whatever dua that you do, Allah SWT will not answer that dua. That is the greatest effect of eating something which is haram. Okay, the Prophet SAW saw somebody who is making dua, and the person is a musafir. A musafir, normally the dua is accepted. So he raised his hand, and also his body is full of sweat, dust, and also his hair is very disheveled. So he say, Ya Rab, Ya Rab, and the Prophet SAW say, how can Allah SWT answer his dua? His food is haram, his clothes is haram, and also his food, his drink, and also his clothes is haram. So the Prophet says, how can Allah SWT answer his dua? Okay, right. So that is the effect of either taking which is haram or the income. Income, that means either we take from income from which is riba, or income which from trickery or fraud, or from theft. That means all these are actually haram. Okay. So Allah SWT states here, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. So he talks about those who have faith. That means he is addressing us. So whenever in the Quran, when you say Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, oh you believe, we take attention because he is addressing us. It's just like when the government talks to Singapore citizen, we take note lah. Kan? Okay, oh you Singapore citizen, we listen, because if you don't listen, then there's certain law that you do not know, then you have problem. Okay, especially like agents also lah, right? When the government say, oh house agent, so you take note, right? Because this concern you. If you are ignorant of these new rulings and regulation, you will be penalized. Okay, so if let's say you are the PMD drivers, and the government say, oh PMD drivers, okay, from now on, if you take this kind of bicycle, you'll be fined. You cannot move to. So you take note. Okay, you take note. You don't take note, you cannot say, oh I'm ignorant. Sorry, no. Okay, there's no such thing. So here Allah SWT say, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, oh you believe, that means Muslims, ittaqullah, fear Allah SWT, wa dharu ma baqiya minar riba, and stay away. Okay, stay away or remit the balance of riba if you are truly faithful ones. Okay, fa illam taf'alu, if you don't do this, fa'dhanu biharbin minallahi wa rasulih. So Allah SWT is giving a stern warning. So if you still do not do this, then you will be informed of a war against you from Allah and His Messenger. That means if you continue eating riba, that means you have allowed yourself to wage war against Allah and His Rasul. Okay, so that is the status of riba. That means riba meaning if we want to continue, then basically you are challenging Allah SWT and His Prophet. Okay, that is the status of riba. Okay, next one. So far okay Cool A bit cool and I pun stress jugalah. Okay, so far okay. Ada apa-apa question ke apa? Before I move, is there any issues that you want to have it settled? Okay, so that I can answer, I can address your concerns. Okay, ada apa-apa tak before we move on further? Ada apa-apa issue that you want to know, so that if kalaulah certain issues that you're going to discuss, I'm going to wait until that matter is presented in the slides. Kalaulah certain thing else, then I will address it as soon as possible. Ada apa-apa? Okay?
Kalau saya ambil loan, taruhlah 400,000. I take the full maximum 400,000 loan. Sedangkan saya punya CPF ada 200,000. With the intent to make sure that I have my accrued interest, sengaja dengan niat untuk naikkan my accrued interest payable by CPF. Bolehkah dengan niat ni nak dapat interest lebih from my ordinary account so that I can pay for the flat or minimize saya punya?
Oh, ini pasal benefit from interest lah. Okay Okay, so benefit from interest intentionally Okay. Okay, lagi apa? Ada apa-apa lain? Banyak tanyalah. Kalau boleh tanyalah. Because this is your only session with me
Normally, people want to know whether the loan that we take is it part of riba, and then whether the second loan that a lot of agents now they like to leverage, buy a second property, taking a second loan. So touch on that.
Okay, so can we invest in second property, third property and so on lah? Okay.
It's not just about the property, about the loan.
Okay, investment and leveraging on loan lah Okay. Lagi? Anything else?
My one quite similar in the sense that kalau kita beli rumah, kalau out of necessity, then maybe the interest is accepted lah. In the sense, but kalau kita beli rumah,
nak pakai ni kalau
for necessity lah.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay.
My question quite similar to the previous one. Kira kalau kita beli rumah untuk tinggal, for shelter lah, then it's scholars saying that it's permissible because it's of necessity. Tapi kalau kita beli rumah for investment ataupun beli rumah private, it's more to like intending to earn money out of it. So how is it like? Thank you.
We use investment using riba lah Okay, lagi apa-apa? Anything else? Jangan malu-malu There's no such thing as stupid question My experience is that if you have a question, somebody else will also want to ask the same question. Okay, so we are actually stupid people Okay, everybody. And because certain issues, we might be expert in certain issues, but we might be ignorant of other issues. For me, I am ignorant of many issues. So I might be asking stupid question on other matters. It's okay. Okay, so you don't have to worry about the questions being too simple. Somebody will be hoping that question will be asked. Okay? Right, yeah.
Okay, another one. Let's say you have asset to buy a certain property fully paid, but because let's say like a 3-room flat, but it's not feasible for a family because family is spending. So you buy a bigger one, you take a loan. So that's like permissible.
Okay. All very connected. All connected with regards to the purchase of property using riba. You want to leverage on property because of the interest and so on. Okay, yeah. What is that?
Ustaz, diorang tanya, the dividend yang kita earn in Islamic bank account and also CPF interest, must we spend the dividend or we can keep?
Okay.
Kalau spend on charity ke, orang ke, what can we spend on?
Alright, dividend in Islamic account And then I will explain also what is The difference and also in CPF. Alright. Nanti I will discuss about CPF in detail, and I will argue that the interest in CPF is not, it is considered as interest but not interest, not riba. It is actually profit. Okay. So in government bonds, it's also called is interest, but it's not interest, it's profits. Alright. So I will make my arguments. Alright. Waalaikumsalam. Okay, anything else? Tak ada pasal zakat ke apa-apa Okay semua okay So oh ada. Oh okay.
So how about referral money? As you said kalau kita bawa orang pergi ke bank ambil loan yang terus sama dia dapat riba.
Oh okay.
So now we are moving on referral.
Itu tough question tu Referral money Referral from banks and banks and lawyers and so on Okay.
One question about just now you mentioned about bonds. My question is it all bonds? Because bonds are coupon interest. So is all bonds permissible or certain bonds, like Singapore government bonds? Because this always concerned me right from the day I was trading.
Okay.
And then of course other materials like interest rate. More about the coupon. That is something not related to property, I suppose.
Okay.
But I'm just curious.
Alright. Okay, before I go into interest and further, we need to understand what is actually a bond. Okay, because some of us we are not familiar with certain terminologies, which is bonds, and kalau kita kata Islamic bonds, we use sukuk. Okay, so and when I look back at bonds, okay, my understanding is also commercial bonds are also actually investment. Okay, because the thing is that when we do any transactions today, we do transaction, everything needs to be fixed. Even when my experience for 5 years in Maybank is actually the 4th biggest Islamic bank in the world. So we have a lot of transaction, we issue a lot of sukuks. Alright, and when you talk about banking transaction, everything must be fixed because it must be clear offhand before you start anything. Okay, and when you talk about all other transaction, it also must be fixed. When you look at basically Islamic bank and commercial bank, basically they operate almost the same. The only difference is that the contract lah. They say the contract, but at the end of the day, you look behind the contract, dia pun almost tak ada beza lah. Okay, but today when you go into Islamic banking, we talk about bond alone, bond and sukuk. When talk about sukuk, the profit must be actually variable. That is actually Islamic banking. There must be risk taking. Risk taking. When you take risk, then you are supposed to be paid more. But today, when you talk about sukuk, we talk about bond, it's actually fixed income. And no banks or any Islamic banks want to take added risk. Okay. So when you talk about bond is actually a loan. When you go to a bank, you say I'm going to take a loan. So the bank will say, okay, how much you need? 500,000, I'll give you 500,000, no problem. You need 20 million, I'll give you 20 million. But there will be a cap. The bank can only give a loan up to a certain amount. If that is too big, then the bank will go into syndicated loan. Syndicated loan meaning the bank will go with another bank or 3 other banks, then we come together, we join force. You need 500 million, DBS take 100 million, OUB takes 100 million, OCBC take 100 million, Standard Chart take another 100 million, and another bank takes 100 million. So it's syndicated, 500 million. Okay, but when you come to a loan which is huge, you talk about $1 billion. $1 billion, the banks cannot give you the loan. Then you have to take from the public. You have to borrow from the public. Okay, because when you talk about public, that means you have to go into the capital market. Okay, capital market. So you have to issue certain certificates. So these certificates is actually of equal value. So the certificate could be, say, example, one certificate is, say, $100,000, and you need $1 billion loan. Alright. So if let's say you issue one certificate of 100,000, how many certificates must you print to give that $1 billion? How much is that? You need to print 10,000, right? You need to print 10,000 certificates to give you $1 billion. So you issue this 10,000 certificate. Whoever wants to buy, it's actually open. Okay, so companies they buy. Okay, SIA or whatever. So CPF they might buy this. They say, okay, you give me 10,000, but you need to tell me what is your coupon. Coupon is actually your interest. Alright, so if let's say your coupon is 4%, 4%, that is your coupon. Coupon is actually previously, when you buy this certificate, okay, when you have this certificate, dulu dia ada dia punya tax kat tepi ni tau. If you look at old bonds, they have all these tax whereby you can pull out and you go to the bank and you cash out. That's why they call it coupon. Alright? And you can take out this thing according to the tenure. Kalaulah is a 5-year loan, 5 year, so you have 10 coupons. You have 10 coupons because bonds they pay you twice a year. So every 6 months they will give you. Alright? So you pull it, you go and you take your interest. That's why. But today you don't have, you beli masuk terus you punya account lah. Alright? So anybody can buy this from the public. Individuals can buy, companies can buy. So these are actually bonds lah. Alright? So now, what is this 4%? Is it profit ke? Is it riba? That's why we use the same interest. Because in my article, if you look at Singapore government savings bond riba, I've given you the link. Did you share the thing? So if you look at the thing, we have scholars such as Sheikh Muhammad Tontawi, Syed Muhammad Tontawi, the previous Sheikh Al-Azhar, passed away. Brilliant guy, but he has been criticized a lot. He says, but his opinion is a bit controversial, and I do not agree with his opinion because he says, yes, he says the interest in all conventional bank is actually not riba. That's his opinion. Okay, commercial banks are all actually acceptable riba. But today, Sheikh Ali Jumaah, he came to Singapore recently. Sheikh Ali Jumaah also have the same principle understanding as Sheikh Said Muhammad Tantawi, and he says same thing. Okay, he says conventional bank is also not riba, and also riba you need to understand because some people say riba you need to differentiate between it is profit or interest whether it is profit or riba, because today he says people use interest very loosely. Even goats today, they say that's pig. Okay, when you call a goat a pig, does it make the goat haram? No, right? Okay, it's just your term is used wrongly, but the goat still remains a goat. Okay, it's still halal. That's why the when you talk about interest, you have to understand the principle behind it. Okay, so if let's say you talk about company, they issue bond, commercial bond. What is this $1 billion used for? What does company use for that money?
Because certain products they don't announce on what is the principle. I mean, what they use it for. Certain company yes, but certain thing like macam they compound everything together, they invest it somewhere, which we do not know what is the.
Normally bonds they don't happen that way. Normally they don't, because when you issue bond, you will have a prospectus. You will have a prospectus, and in that prospectus, if you read, it will tell you what is the money used for. Because I'm an investor, you have to tell me. And today, whatever you do is extremely regulated. You cannot just issue and you have to be approved by the central bank before you do anything, because you are dealing with public money. All right. So the central bank will ask you to come up with whatever money, whatever project that you're going to use. So that $1 billion, you tell me what is for 300 million, I'm going to use this. For 500 million, I'm going to use this. 200 million, I'm going to use for this. Normally, the money that is used for bonds is actually for the business, for the growth of the business. So when you talk about growth of the business, it's actually for investment. Basically, it's for investment. When you talk about investment, today you cannot just say, okay, I'm going to I buy one certificate, I invest $100,000 and we share, because previously Islam says you need to share the profit. Because it's actually musyarakah. Musyarakah, you have to share profit maybe 30-70. I get 30%, you take 70%. Today nobody works that way anymore. You share and then you do not know what is the profit. You say, oh, at the end of the year, when you have any profit, we share based on the percentage. Nobody works that way anymore. Even Islamic banks also, they don't work that way. Everything must be fixed upfront. Okay? So this is actually not interest, but it's actually dividend. It's actually dividend. It's fixed dividend. Okay? That is a principle behind bond. Alright? So, if you look at commercial bonds or government bonds, governments lagi strict. Governments, nanti you look at the Singapore government, whatever bonds that they issue is not for expenditure. Itu bukan belanja sembarang. The bond is actually for investment. They state that in their website. I will show you later on. Okay, so it's for investment. So when investment, now they don't say, oh, based on profit sharing. So they say based on fixed income. Okay, they say I give you 3%. So 3% is actually dividend. That's really profit. But the profit is fixed. Okay? Right. So commercial bond is the same thing. Cuma when you talk about commercial bonds, the company, look at the company. What is the business of the company? Kalaulah katakan SIA issue bond. SIA issue bond. Ada ya? So SIA issue bond, can you buy the bonds from SIA? Can you? Company SIA boleh tak? You boleh invest in SIA tak? Boleh beli dia punya share tak? Ha? Dia apa yang tu, yang dia ada alkohol tu semua tu? Dia ada share? Ha? SIA is actually a transport company. A transport company, the liquor that they sell is actually a very minimal income from the company. Okay, so they say, okay, you want to invest in Emirates Airlines, you can invest in SIA, and if they issue bonds, that bond should be halal. Okay, right. But that is my opinion lah. But other people might have other opinions lah. Okay, alright. Boleh Boleh. Okay, cukup So kalaulah
sorry. One more. When I last attended Maybank punya seminar, questions asked was, with a lot of Muslim money in the market right now, people want to buy a property, but then again there is no Islamic property loan. What was answered? Maybank punya VP ke somebody, dia cakap, it is not up to us, but it is actually CPF's punya ruling that does not allow Islamic property loan. Any idea as to how we can allow this in the next future, since a lot of macam my Brani juta duit dia duit, so people like him may want to invest with huge quantums
Okay.
Biar aku jadi comedian
Okay. Amin. Dia aminkan aja. Okay. So Maybank, a lot of parties, a lot of financial institutions are trying to find ways on how to provide Islamic loan. But a lot because of CPF rulings, and then also because of and the punya CPF Acts quite strict Singapore. So many parties have not been successful. Maybank is trying. So it seems like the product might be successful because they might be introducing one of the product I cannot reveal. Okay, it could be acceptable by MAS. Alright, but belum lagi ada benda tu. Okay, it's not there. So what happens to the Muslim now? Okay, can we use conventional banks? Because that's how we buy money. We buy houses. So being a Muslim should not be a liability. That is one thing we need to understand. You become a Muslim, it should not be disadvantaged. Alright? So just because I'm a Muslim, I cannot invest. Just because I'm a Muslim, I cannot do this thing. Okay? Because you should be of the same level. Alright? And kalau ada Islamic banks, then it's better. You support lah. But today, if there's no Islamic bank, you want to talk about buying your basic house, that is no question in Singapore, right? Everybody says that you can buy because that is a necessity, and they talk about darurat. Darurat meaning, if you don't have an alternative, you use what is haram. That is darurat. Basic principle of darurat. If let's say you are in a jungle, and then you don't have food, and suddenly you see that animal, okay, animal tu nama dia apa? Babi, babi. Memang Melayu cakap babi je lah. Tak ada benda nama lain. Orang kata khinzir, tu Arab. Memang babi. Jadi nampak babi, kita pun tangkap dia, kemudian tangkap pun nak sembelih, tak payah sembelih lah. Bunuh dia. Lepas itu, nak makan berapa banyak? There's also an issue. Nak makan sampai kenyang tak?
Kalau makan kenyang.
Oh, sampai kenyang Okay. To me, makan pun sampai kenyang lah. Pasal apa? You need to fill your stomach. And after that, the balance, simpan tak?
Kasih Ahmad Ibrahim lah.
Kasih Ahmad Ibrahim. Semua dah makan lah, satu grup lah. Tengah camping kan, tiba-tiba sesat dekat hutan ni. Makan. Lepas itu, dia punya balance tu, nak buang tak? Simpan lah. Simpan sampai kita keluar daripada hutan, sampai kita selamat lah. Jadi maksudnya apa? Makan selagi mana kita nak makan. Itu darurat. Sama juga dengan bank ni. Kalau bank ni, kita tak ada Islamic bank, so we need to buy, we use conventional bank. Okay? So beli rumah tu semua kata darurat. Tapi sekarang the issue is, can you buy second house for investment? Do you know that since 1965 there is no wakaf being made in Singapore? Since 1965. That means no Muslim has made wakaf for their property. So all the wakaf yang kita dapat tu daripada yang lama-lama dulu. Yang kita kata yang wakaf ni semua, apabila keluarga seperti Al-Junaid, As-Saqaf, kemudian Al-Khatib, banyak orang-orang Arab ni, bila dia beli rumah ni, dia pakai konsep apa? Ada Arab kat sini tak? Ada orang Arab? Al-Junaid ke mana? Kau takut salah cakap ke apa? Ada siapa-siapa Arab kat sini? Kalau dia beli rumah, because the Arabs come to Singapore in early 20s, 30s, 40s kan? When they buy the properties, dia pakai apa? Kontrak apa tu? Tukar barang dah lama dulu tu, 1004 tahun dulu, barter trade. Tapi bila dia beli dia nak beli rumah tu, ada properties They have properties, they have lands, and then you know that about there's Malays who owns the whole of Bedok kan? You saw dia tu kan? Nama dia siapa tu? Haji Kahar ke apa something ada. So he bought all this land and all these properties, pakai kontrak apa tu? Ataupun dia pakai loans ataupun pakai cash? Agak-agak lah. Agak-agak. Normally, whatever you buy will involve the bank. Okay? And people like this, I believe, maybe you can prove me wrong. I believe people who are business savvy people, you will maximize your resource. Because every business people, they are very smart and they will use the money to the maximum. Because your resource is limited, kan? That's how you become rich. For those people who cannot maximize their resources, they don't become rich. So if let's say these people who are rich, they have $2 million. Do they use that $2 million to buy a property cash, or they use that $2 million to buy 10 properties and use loan? Which one do you think they will use? Logically, a business savvy person will use that $2 million and buy 10 properties. And then you will leverage on your properties. Because if you have $2 million, you buy one property, your rental income is so much. But if you have 10 properties, your rental income is bigger. Okay? So that's I believe what happens to the Arabs. And because of their practices, we have a lot of wakaf. Okay, you have madrasah, we have school, you have rumah anak yatim, and the same thing with even the Indians, MTFA. The Indians are very savvy. very smart people in business. Okay, so if let's say diorang dulu kita kata, oh you cannot invest, you will not have all this wakaf. Okay, we need to generate rich people. You don't need many rich people, you just need about 5% rich people, and these people will generate enough income, and because they will give zakat, they will benefit the population. Okay, so we have to come. That's why in terms of investment, the best investment in Singapore is actually property. Unless you are a Warren Buffett, you know how to invest in stocks and you know how to buy shares and trade shares, then that's another issue. But if let's say for you, and you guys, you are expert in properties, if you think that you can encourage and you can buy more properties, carry on. And the only facilities that you can use today is actually conventional bank. Use conventional bank. Okay? And you know that in Singapore, who is the richest man in Singapore? Muslim in Singapore? You know? Huh? Who is the? Huh? Marikan belum lagi lah, Marikan. He's there lah, he's there. Huh? MES, tahu Abdul Jalil I believe he's actually one of the richest. I think between him and Mustafa Una. Because I was told that many years back somebody wanted to buy his dormitories business for about 250 million. He refused. So probably now the business is much larger. Okay, could be close to $1 billion. Could be. And for him, and people like, for him, he wants to build dormitories. How could he build dormitories? Is it cheap? Is it cheap? He need to use financing. He needs to take bank loan. Okay, he needs to take bank loan. That's how he built his business. And Mustafa, when he wants to buy all the merchandise, he imports from India, he imports from everywhere. Where does he get the letter of credit? He needs to buy letter of credit. All these are actually conventional loans. So if you don't allow loans to people, our businessmen cannot do the business. Okay? Right. So the same thing, same principle. If let's say you are an investor, you want to invest in property, carry on. And this is my opinion, because there are people who brought scholars from Malaysia. And I know, because one of them is my lecturer. He came to Singapore, gave a talk, and he says, investment, you are not allowed. You are just allowed to buy your personal property. In my heart, I say it's wrong. You do not understand the situations in Singapore. That's why when you want to ask fatwa, you need to ask the scholars in Singapore, or people who knows in the issues in Singapore. Malaysia punya issue lain. Malaysia, you have about 14 Islamic banks. Yes, you can afford to say, oh, we can use Islamic facilities. And in Malaysia, your population is 55% Muslim. 55% Muslim. You want to equate the same situation in Singapore? You are wrong. In Singapore, we are only 13%. Okay, 13%. And the Muslims and the Malays are basically on the lower rungs of the societies. Okay, you people know, because when you talk about the bell curve, the differences, when you talk about the distribution of our community is basically based on the bell curve. Okay, these are the poor people and these are the rich. If you look into the distribution of our community, we are actually ke bawah sini. Okay, kita punya income ada lower rungs, and most of our community ada security. You're working in security, you're working in delivery, you're working as cleaners. So you want to equate kita punya situation with the Malaysians? No, you're wrong. Because when you talk about certain rulings in Islam, you need to know about the text, which is the ruling in the Quran and the Sunnah, and you need to understand the context. Context, that means you need to understand the situations. Different situations have different rulings. Okay, so that's why if you want to do investment, I think yes, that's the best form. Invest, carry on, because the investment will benefit your next generation, and maybe your next generation, when they are well off, they decide to make wakaf, right? Okay, they say, okay, just give one condo to Masjid Al-Amin. So all the income, monthly income, goes to the mosque. So every month the mosque get, okay, maybe 4,000, 5,000. Somebody just because of that because of that wakaf. Our community benefit. Okay, that's how I see it lah. Alright. So when you talk about, and I believe today, when you talk about agents, your position is actually fardu kifayah. Your situations of buying, selling house is actually fardu kifayah. Okay, it is fardu, and you need to have somebody to be Muslims to assist the Muslims in buying and selling house. Because previously, when you don't have Muslims selling as agents, people who buy house has been cheated, okay, because some people are just unscrupulous. They cheat you and they don't tell you everything. Okay, but if let's say you are Muslim, so you know the principles, so you're upfront, you tell your clients, okay, and you advise them properly. So I think it's actually the situations of buying, selling house actually, to me, is fardu kifayah. Okay, right. Okay, boleh so the rest, I think, benefit from intentionally, that means the same thing lah. So if let's say you think you want to leverage, because here there's no Islamic bank. If let's say you do with Islamic bank, the same thing. You will also leverage intentionally, right? If you can benefit from your money, you will benefit today. If you want to benefit, carry on lah. Okay, right. Same thing lah. Investment and leveraging on loan, and investment using same thing. Investment riba, I think I've already answered. Dividend in Islamic account. Okay, dividend in Islamic account. When you in Islamic account, when you put your money in the bank is based on riba, loan itself. You put your money in a savings deposit, $1,000. How much interest do you generate? The bank will give you how much? Almost like 0.04%, very small. And now I think they don't give even interest anymore. Tak ada interest. Have you received any interest lately? Ada tak? End of the year dia kata, interest. Ada? I don't think so lah. Sekarang dah tak ada interest langsung lah. Bank pun tak bayar. Okay?
Islamic bank diorang nak kasih interest lah.
Apa dia?
Diorang ikut Islamic principle tak nak kasih interest.
Islamic bank pun kasih juga, tapi they don't give you interest. They give you hibah. They give you present. Macam present lah. They kocik money lah. Okay, because you put money in the bank, so the bank don't have to pay you. Okay, because the bank have to just to give back the exact amount, but out of their own goodwill they give you. Okay, they call it hibah. Alright. So in Malaysia, the punya hibah is almost like the interest rate lah. Interest rate, same thing. So that because in Malaysia ni situation dia lain sikit lah. Because bank negara they have a ruling that Islamic bank punya practice dengan conventional bank. Kalaulah dia lain, nanti Islamic bank dengan conventional bank gaduh. Nanti conventional bank kata apa ni tak fair lah Islamic bank, ataupun Islamic bank kata tak fair. So they have to play on a level playing field lah. Okay. And kalau Islamic bank, they give you either hibah, kira hadiah, or they can give you dividend. Dividend that means it is profit, generated profit. Because in Islamic bank, you can also place your money in fixed deposit. Ada fixed deposit. You go to Maybank, you go to CIMB, they have fixed D, Islamic fixed D. So they give you, how much is that? 1%. Ada 1%. Tak ada yang simpan kat tu. Simpanlah sikit. Masukkan dalam fixed D, support Islamic bank sikit. Jadi Islamic bank pun dia boleh menafah sikit. So that dia kata ada juga orang yang support aku ni. Jadi dia punya board of directors, dia punya CEO tengok pun okey lah, promising juga lah. Kita boleh support. Lepas tu dia nak boleh offer ada products pun lega sikit. Sekali dia tengok tak ada apa-apa, dia kata apa, sudahlah tutup, sudahlah. Kita pun rugi. Alright. So when you have fixed D, is actually based on investment. Okay, cuma investment je dekat Islamic bank ni, they call it commodity murabahah lah. Itu panjang sikit cerita dia lah. Tapi at the end of the day, dividend tu actually profit. Okay. Cumanya kalaulah kita kata dekat kalau dalam bank ni, kalau dia kasih kita interest, interest tu memang riba. Interest tu memang riba. Jadi kalau kita ada simpan duit dekat dalam bank, kemudian at the end of the year, the bank kasih interest $200. That interest kita kena cleanse. Kita kena buang. Kita kena bersihkan. Dan we need to give, cakap Melayu pula, lupa. And you need to take out that money and you give to any needy person. Okay, you can masuk dalam tabung masjid, you can give to any poor person. Siapa-siapa yang jual tisu ke apa, you can just give them. Or maybe dekat Shell station ke mana-mana ke, you tengok abang tu susah kerja dia. So ataupun pak cik tua ke kerja dekat Shell ke, dekat Esso ke apa, you give him ampau ke apa, you kata $50 ke apa, cik, this you don't have to tell cik ni riba ni.
Macam mana donation kita dan kita kasih orang makan.
Tak ada masalah. Dia riba ni ulama kata kalaulah benda-benda kita terdapat benda-benda yang haram, kita boleh kasih, kita boleh bantu. Tapi tak perlu nak cakap dengan dia riba. Kerana apa? This is from our experience. The scholars during the 1960s, 1970s, the Arabs were very rich because of the petrol dollars. So they place monies in the banks and they generate interest. So the Arab says, the scholar says, interest haram, jangan ambil. So they let the bank take the money. And what happens to this money? There are tens of millions, hundreds of millions. Okay, so the banks took this money and they give to certain organisation for dakwah work. Okay, for dakwah work, and they make dakwah against the Muslims. So they say instead of happening, we take this money. We take this money and we give to our own charity. Okay, but they say you don't expect the money to generate any pahala. You don't hope for pahala. But I think insya-Allah ada pahala lah. Adalah sikit lah, insya-Allah Allah kasih lah. Pasal apa kita punya niat nak bantu orang dan sebagainya, kita akan dapat pahala. Tapi generally our scholar say don't hope for pahala because these are cleansing. You have to cleanse your this form of money. Okay? Right. Tadi ada saya.
Cannot take it all, have to clear.
Yang ini yang riba dalam conventional bank ni I believe is riba.
Full amount clear.
Full amount lah. Tapi kalau you ada fixed D kalau boleh transfer lah. Tapi kalau you ada fixed D, tadi dalam hadis dalam ayat Quran ni Allah kata apa? Wa in tubtum falakum ru'usu amwalikum. Kalaulah kamu dah bertaubat, maka bagi kamu, for you is only the capital. For you only the capital. That means if let's say you have taken this and that is riba, ayat Quran say you have to cleanse. Okay, but here in Singapore, if let's say kita dah ambil benda tu, gunakan, that means you can use it. But after that, don't repeat. Okay, because in Singapore, with regards to riba ni, too complicated. If you ask everybody to cleanse, then our community pun will have a lot of problem with regards to nanti masuk dalam bab insurance dan sebagainya. Very complicated. So if you want to use the money, use it, but then after that you don't repeat it. Okay, you can place your money in Islamic fixed D. Same returns. No difference. Okay?
The CPF money that that is not used for housing, that we have some CPF in the OA where we
Okay, CPF nanti lagi. CPF ni I repeat again. Whatever interest from CPF is not riba. Whatever interest in CPF is actually profit. Don't advise any of your clients that they have to cleanse the CPF monies. Because CPF monies that come from interest from the government is extremely huge. Okay, you jangan ingat, because I have a few people who come to me and say, Ustaz, how can I cleanse my CPF? I say, are you sure you want to cleanse your CPF? You know how much is your cleansing? Because CPF gives you 2.5%, but 2.5% compounding. It's compounding. Okay, meaning that from 1980s ke 90s you have been working 2.5%, the next year is 2.5%, it is actually increasing. Okay, I think who was saying that one of the wonders of the world is actually compounding. Who was it? Warren Buffett. One of the wonders of the world is compounding. Compounding interest be 2.5%. The next year it becomes 2.51. Then it becomes 2.56. And then become 2.6, 2.8, 2.9. After many years, it becomes 4%. That is the meaning of compounding. Okay, so if let's say your CPF 2.5%, when you get your money, it's actually almost 30%. 30% of your value is actually interest. That's why kita kalau nak kira 2.5% almost like our zakat. There are many cases whereby people who want to pay zakat, dia punya accrued zakat 2.5%, bila dia calculate is almost 30%. Ada orang yang dapat 100,000, dia bayar 30,000 untuk zakat. No, that is wrong. That is wrong calculation of zakat. Okay? So that is another issue of zakat lah. Tapi please, nanti I will present to you what is actually CPF all about. Okay, what is used by the government, and also CPF, you know lah, because CPF money is ours, right? When you use it to buy property, CPF will charge you interest, kan? Right? CPF will charge you interest, kan? So that 2.5% actually who pays? Actually our money. So why should you cleanse? Alright, we are paying our own interest. So that portion out. Tapi ada balance lagi. Okay, katakan you have 500,000, you cuma bayar 300,000 for house, kan? 200,000 tu, CPF pakai apa tu 200,000 extra tu? Dia apa? Dia akan invest, tapi invest in Singapore bonds. Nanti I will show you the punya financial statement of CPF. It's accessible. You can read dia punya annual report. Okay, and you can check what are the monies used. It's open. Okay, it's open. It's public knowledge. So you will see later on what is actually the use of the monies. Okay.
Saya tanya satu soalan. Okay. Tadi ada memberitahu tentang pasal
dalam konteks di Singapura di mana kita dibenarkan untuk membeli rumah untuk kedua dan ketiga, ataupun rumah yang pertama tu masih mempunyai bayaran. Okay. Dan di ayat 238 tu, ya ayyuhallazina amanu ittaqullah. Kita ditekankan untuk bertakwa dalam hal ini. Dalam konteks Singapura memang darurat, di mana pinjaman kita tak ada bank syariah, tapi kita dibenarkan untuk mengambil atas dasar untuk kediaman sekeluarga. But then, kalau kita beli yang kedua dan ketiga, ataupun yang pertama masih ada bayaran, takkan kita seperti meraihkan keadaan darurat yang kita ada di sini? Okay, good one. Dalam keadaan itu, saya melihat ada bahaya di situ pada seorang keluarga Islam. Okay.
Alright. Okay, good. Because you bring out the verse which Allah says, ya ayyuhalladzina amanu ittaqullah. Oh, you who believe, people, orang-orang yang beriman, bertakwalah kepada Allah. Bertakwa ni maksudnya apa? Bertakwa ni berjaga-jaga. That is basically the definition of taqwa. Because somebody asked, stated that Umar, Amirul Mu'minin, asked Abu Hurairah, what is the meaning of taqwa? He says, Amirul Mu'minin, have you not walked past a field which have a lot of thorns? Okay, which have a lot of thorns. How do you walk on the field? So he said, I'll be very careful, right? So I'll take one step, and I will just make sure everything is clear, then I will start. That is taqwa. So taqwa for everybody meaning you have to be careful in your action. So if let's say you are a businessman, you should also be taqwa. But taqwa meaning taqwa that means you have to be careful if whatever is available to you. Okay? Use whatever is available to you. Alright? So if let's say today your availability is what is the banking system here in Singapore, so you use the what is available. If let's say you are in America, can you do business in America? Can you invest? You cannot do anything. There's no Islamic America may be a bad example lah. Amerika ada juga Islamic bank. Nanti orang Amerika pun marah juga. If let's say you go to places like Russia, England pun ada Islamic bank. 5 Islamic banks in England. Finland. Katakanlah Finland. Any place lah, remote place. There's no Islamic bank. Does it mean that you don't do business? Does it mean that you don't buy houses? You don't invest? Okay? That means if let's say you are a person of taqwa, kalaulah katakan is available, you go for that choice. That is your taqwa. But if you don't, you have to do what is necessary. Okay? Some people say, oh yeah, Ustaz, if you say like that, that means you are open up doors, open up for everyone. That means you are just encouraging riba, kan? That's what happens in Singapore. Yes, you don't have alternative. In Malaysia, you have 14 banks. Can you do anything? You can do anything you like. Why in Singapore you are limiting yourself? Okay. Anyway, to huge discussion lah. Okay, but that's how I see it in Singapore lah, because that is the situations and also the status of our community and so on lah. Okay, right? Boleh Okay, next one. Continue. Okay. Ada lagi okay. Referral from banks ni. Referral from banks. Kalaulah katakan that transaction is halal, that referral should be halal. Okay. Buying house, is it halal? Halal lah. Kan? Buying house, whether it's first property, second property, it is halal because you don't have any Islamic bank, kan? Okay. So, if let's say the purchase is halal, whatever is attached to it is halal lah. Alright?
What about referral to the bank for him to open a Taqwa shop?
Apa dia?
Open a alcohol store or whatever.
Kalau alkohol tu tak boleh lah. Kalau lah kita kata, okay, nak open up kopitiam. Okay, so you make a referral. That means whatever transaction is halal with the bank, okay, in Islam is halal. So everything is halal lah. Referral is halal lah. Okay. Tapi kalau lah katakan, I want to open up and I want to rent. That's why there's a limit lah. So I say I want to open up a bar, and then you transact. So you say, okay, maybe this is a limit lah. Okay, you say I cannot involve in this. Even Islamic banks pun tak boleh involve in this thing, this kind of transaction. Alright, or you want to open up rumah red light district. Okay, you know also kan, ada red light district which is allowed in Singapore kan. So you cannot transact. So you say, there's jadi benda macam ni mungkin ada regulation Okay.
Ustaz, referring to that referral from banks. In the Quran, Allah said Allah allow jual dan beli.
Yes.
Haramkan riba.
Correct.
So the thing is that jual beli is halal, but pinjaman daripada bank is riba.
Okay, that's why I talk about the necessity. We are talking about necessity. Memang riba. Because bank ni memang dia kasih loan. Loan tu memang riba. Tapi dekat Singapura ni, we have no choice. Okay, we have to use. That's why the riba is actually riba which is halal. Because of our situation. So once the buying and selling house is under darurat, so that means if let's say the bank gives you referral pun, kira darurat terima jugalah. Until a point whereby an Islamic bank appears and gives an Islamic facilities. Kalau boleh kita go to that and we support according to Islamic transaction. Nanti kita akan tengok macam mana Islamic banks they use the contract. Okay? And kalaulah kontrak tu pun equal in value. That means maksudnya apa? Kalau Islamic banks tu dia pun charge profit. Kalau profit tu equal with conventional bank, then we have to go. Tapi kalaulah Islamic bank tu dia punya profit tu higher, because sometimes bila start dia punya profit tu higher tau. Tinggi sikit. Jadi maksudnya belum lagi level lagi. You don't have to transfer yet. Okay, sampai it's actually level, then we say it's wajib. Orang Islam kena gunakan Islamic facilities. Dan kalaulah Islamic bank banyak. Pasal apa? Kadang-kadang kita kata, I pun pernah juga nak beli kereta apply dengan Maybank. Maybank tak kasih. They do not know that I'm the Sharia advisor for Maybank lah. Tapi dia dapat nama, mungkin Ustaz punya nama ni tak boleh pakai lah. I did not get it. So I got DBS. DBS lah kasih. I have to use DBS punya tu, kan? So sometimes banks also don't approve your loan, kan? So what can you do? Use whatever is what is allowed lah. Okay? Tapi you try to support. Kalaulah betul-betul dah Islamic bank pun sama, ada 3 Islamic bank as the conventional 3 conventional bank. Okay, we say all Muslim must go there. Itu nak kena tunggu fatwa daripada mufti lah. Boleh Okay. Ada tadi siapa?
So meaning taking like business loans or housing loans, for example for second, third property, for investment, for growth, it is riba.
Yes.
But out of necessity, in your opinion, it's
correct. Allowed. Permissible. Yes. Okay, even for business loan. Okay, and in fact dia punya, kalau if you are a businessman, taking loan is much better than providing equity, or you want to issue shares to other people.
But it's still considered riba.
Yes, it's still riba. Loan is still considered riba. Okay, but riba which is halal in Singapore at present moment. Okay, we do not know 5 years, 10 years down the road, I might say a different thing. Jangan pula nanti dah video ni kita masih pakai lagi. Ustaz Kamal kata halal apa? Oh ni dah 10 tahun dah lepas dah kita kata dah abrogated dah habis. Ada new ruling pasal different situations of the Muslim. Okay, but today you want to do commercial property, carry on. And in fact, people who buy commercial properties because of riba, they become rich. You know second chance? Okay, you know second chance? What is their main business? Property, Property. They have a lot of properties in Sim Lim, and then you have property shop houses in HDB ni tempat dia beli, City Plaza. Generally they are actually compliant. Okay, you can buy second chance punya shares. Okay, so ni 10 cents now. 10 cents. So no, 20 cents. Previously was 40 cents. So cuma dia ada rental dekat City Plaza. Dia ada rental dekat City Plaza, which is the ada bank kat situ kan. What bank is that? UOB Bank. That two premise is actually under second chance punya property. Okay, but in total if you look, our scholars allow at least 5% income which is non-compliant, tak apa. And I think it is actually within 5%. Alright, so second chance beli properties, they bought the properties based on riba lah. So kalau we don't have such people, then we don't have rich people. Okay, so commercial properties you should allow. Our businessmen, like kalau Mustafa pun dia beli property, takkan beli cash. You don't understand by cash, everything is by financing, by loan. So you see people like that, then they pay zakat. And every year, you know Mustafa berapa ramai dia kasih untuk imam-imam ni, dia kasih zakat kepada imam-imam ni. So we have rich people and it benefits the community. We should generate this kind of people. Okay? Right. Okay.
So based on that kan, is there any point of reference that we can extract from to sort of justify your opinion?
You cannot find. That's why Muiz is recording this. After this, they say, Ustaz Kamal, are you sure not? I'll answer. I'll answer based on my understanding and based on the situations in Singapore. That's why they want to record. It's okay. Okay. My previous talk also they recorded. So I say, okay, you want to record. After that, you want to review. You want to question me. I will answer based on my understanding and based on my arguments. I have my arguments. Okay. But if you want to base on scholars from overseas, we have different status. Okay. You ask scholars from Malaysia, they have different, and I will argue with them. Okay, I will argue with them. Your opinion is wrong. All right. So we have basis. I have my own basis. You have your own basis. Then we can argue, but you cannot find any reference. And you cannot say, oh, Ustaz, you are correct because this person said. I might have my own opinion from my own experience and from my own exposure from the market. Okay. So yeah.
But I'm sure you have your own source.
Yes. And I will come up with my argument, and that's why I will say why CPF is halal, why Singapore government bonds is halal. Okay, and I have my own basis. Okay, I cannot just say halal. Ustaz, kenapa? Yelah itu aja. No, I must have my own arguments, and my arguments must be solid. Okay. So, ya dah?
For the financing and the loans.
Financing is the same thing. Kalau kita kata tentang basic housing, generally is said correct. Tapi kalau additional ni, this is my opinion. Okay, this is my opinion. Because if you say it is not allowed, that means you are saying Mustafa Samsuddin should close shop. You are saying that Salim Marikan should close shop. You are talking about all the business people. Okay, you go to SMCCI kan, you will see a lot of people need financing, and when they want to import Jumain Satisfaction, they want to import their punya product or export, there must be letter of credit, bankers guarantees. These are all involves riba. This all involves interest. So are you saying that all these people cannot continue with the business? Okay, so if you allow these people with their business, why aren't you allowed us to do our investment? So that's my basis. Okay. We are supposed to break for another 2-3 minutes. So I'll take another slide. Okay. Boleh So covered semua Alright. So I'm also answering because my wife is also an agent. If you not know, Maria Jumat, Maria JJ. Okay, stand up lah. Kenalkan sikit lah. So Maria Jumat, Maria JJ, my wife. For what? Berapa many years? 26 years 26 years lah. My darling lah, my darling. Okay. So basically I asked her a lot about housing. So I have a bit of background lah, asking her what is the thing. So and also my experience and also my understanding of this after many years lah. I've been in this line for 10 years. Okay, I was a Sharia advisor for a bank, for a financial consultancy based in Kuwait for 5 years, Shape Financials, since 2009 to 2013. And then I took my master's in finance from International Islamic University of Malaysia, UIA. Finance, it's not Islamic finance, but basically finance. Because my 5 years of experience in that company, I was sent to conduct courses. Okay, courses all around the world. So when I conduct these courses, I feel a lot of limitation on my part, understanding the financial products, conventional products. So I did my master's and we did conventional products. Okay, so basically I'm quite exposed to we talk about company structures, understanding company structures, because when you open up a company, you need to limit the amount of equity that you open up and also your loan, your debt. Okay, the portion is very important because debt is actually cheaper than issuing shares. So companies need to take debts, take loans. So that's why if you don't have loans, then the company will be handicapped. Okay, right. So that's the reason why I said, okay. So if you go for investment and also the situations about wakaf and so on, all right, and also the situations of our community, if you have investment, then you will benefit your next generation. Okay, your next generation, when they benefit, then your community will move. Okay, from this section slowly will move on to the other portion, higher income. That's what we want. Okay, all right. Okay, so next one will be and also admonition against riba. Okay, this is the thing. The verse that you say, yamhaqullahu riba wa yurbis sadaqat wallahu la yuhibbul kulla kaffarin athim. Allah takes away the blessing from riba. Okay, so when you take riba, financially we see the numbers increase. Okay, financially we see the number increase, but Allah SWT removes meaning the blessing, meaning He removes from other things. When you talk about risk is not just money, dollars and cents. Risk could be your health. Risk could be family members. Risk could be your happiness. Risk could be your well-being. Risk could be your mental health. Okay, so when you take riba, something is taken away from you. Allah eats you up. Okay, but financially you nampak banyak. That's why Allah says, yamhaqullahu riba. Allah will destroy. Okay, riba. Okay, so some of us we might say, oh Ustaz, since that way I don't want to involve in riba. Up to you. Up to you. Okay, because you need to understand what is actually fatwa and what is actually wara. Okay, fatwa is ruling. Wara is to be extra careful. Alright. So some people they might take a stance of wara. Wara, that means, oh, I'm so careful that I want. But when you talk about hukum is for everybody, not for everyone. I mean, hukum is for everyone, but wara is only for some people. Alright, that's why what I'm saying is actually hukum. But if you want to take a careful stand, up to you. Alright, but here Allah says He will destroy riba wa yurbis sadaqat, and He will add, increase charity. Okay, alright. So I think we'll break for about half an hour. Break for half an hour. 12:15 we'll come back and then we'll continue until about 2 o'clock. Okay. So meanwhile, if let's say you have other questions, please share so that we have a interesting discussion. Okay. So thank you very much. Free. There's no free lunch. They say there's no free lunch. Okay, but if you're talking about personal work, so yes, we can assist. Okay, even for me. Okay, my presentation is not free lah, Cik Nizam. So thank you very much for organising, and there's a lot of hard work behind it. So the same thing, and even if I bring any friends who wants to do business, I will also get my referral. Okay, so if let's say you have any referrals with regards, but generally if you want to talk about in Singapore, when you talk about Islamic principle, if the rule and the law states no, Islam also say no. That's bottom line. Because there is a principle called al-'ada muhakkama. Al-'ada muhakkama, that means the custom is the prevalent practice. That's adat. Okay, so adat muhakkama, that means that it comes to with the law. The law is actually your custom. So if let's say in Singapore the law states that you drive on the left side of the road, that is actually rule. Islam said follow that. And if let's say if you say, oh Ustaz, there's no such thing in Quran Sunnah. Yes, there's no Quran Sunnah, but this is the principle. If you see a green light, you move. Red light, you stop. Where is that? There's no Sunnah in that. But that is adat, that is custom, which is understood and we practice. Okay, so any rules and regulation, the same thing. If let's say PMD, with regards to PMD, so the government says, okay, you are not supposed to use and you are not supposed to travel. In Islam says that is actually the law. Okay, so our law is actually Islamic principle. Alright, but again, if let's say it's something that is practiced by the industry, you are supposed to take certain portion of the referral fee, then by all means I say you can do so. But kalau it is against a certain referral fee is against the law, so be careful sikit lah. Just be careful. And also I think just to be fair, you charge referral fee also which is actually reasonable. Don't charge which is something which is doesn't make sense. Okay? Alright. So the next slides that I will present is which is how riba is prohibited in Islam. Because riba and alcohol is such a huge, it's a giant thing amongst the Arabs that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He wants to, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Al-Hakim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is most wise. Okay, when He wants to implement something, He does it in a very nice and acceptable way. Okay, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He forbids something, you know that there is a reason behind it, there's wisdom behind it. When He commands us, there is also benefit behind it. That's why if you study any Islamic law, if there is something which is forbidden in Islam, be guaranteed that there's a lot of detriments, there is a lot of problems that will arise from that. And if Allah commands us certain things, you can be sure that there's a lot of benefits. Okay? So here, when riba is prohibited, it goes into 4 stages, just like the prohibition of alcohol. Because the Arabs are so used in drinking alcohol, Allah SWT also forbid the drinking of alcohol in 4 stages. So first stage is that in Surah Rum, verse 39, Allah criticizes riba and praises the acts of charity. Right? So riba is still not haram. And this surah is Makkiyah. You know, Makkiyah talks about not rules and regulation, talks about akidah, talks about belief. It was brought down several years before Hijrah. Allah says, وَمَا أَتَيْتُمْ مِنْ رِبَا لِيَرْبُوا فِي أَمْوَالِ النَّاسِ فَلَا يَرْبُوا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ. Okay, what you give in usury or riba in order that it may increase people's wealth, it does not increase with Allah. Okay? فَلَا وَمَا أَتَيْتُمْ مِنْ زَكَاةٍ تُرِيدُونَ وَجْهَ اللَّهِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُضْعِفُونَ. But what you pay as zakah seeking Allah's pleasure, it is they who will be given a manifold increase. So here, the first part, Allah SWT says, riba is not good, but zakat is better. Okay, so he talks about the benefits of zakat and the illness of riba. Alright, second phase, next one. In Surah Nisa, verse 160 to 161, Allah criticizes the past community that consumes riba. Okay, even though it has been prohibited upon them. They use many tricks to make it permissible upon them to consume riba. So here Allah talks about the people of the books, the Yahud. Okay, so here فَبِظُلْمٍ مِّنَ الَّذِينَ هَادُوا حَرَّمْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ طَيِّبَاتٍ وَحِلَّتْ لَهُمْ وَبِصَدِّهِمْ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ كَثِيرًا. So due to the great injustice committed by the Jews, we forbid them some of the good things which were earlier lawful for them, and because they prevented many people from Allah's way. وَأَخْذِهِمُ الرِّبَا وَقَدْ نُهُوا عَنْهُ وَأَكْلِهِمْ أَمْوَالَ النَّاسِ بِالْبَاطِلِ وَأَعْتَدْنَا لِلْكَافِرِينَ مِنْهُمْ عَذَابًا أَلِيمًا. And because they used to take usury, whereas they were forbidden from it, and they used to wrongfully devour people's wealth, and for the disbelievers amongst them, we have kept prepared a painful punishment. So here, the Jews, they were forbidden from taking riba, but they go against riba. Okay, nanti this verse ada orang pula tanya, some people masih, Ustaz, are you going against loophole ke, hila ke? Because here the Jews, riba was made unlawful to them, but they changed the law in such a way that they said for us is haram. We cannot take riba amongst us, but we can take riba from others. This is how they fool around with the law. Okay, so Allah SWT is giving warning with regards to this practice. Okay. Now, third phase is that in Surah Imran, Allah encourages the believer to leave the act of riba. And here, the third stage is that only certain part of riba is made haram. Allah forbid riba which is in double. Okay, double, triple times. Okay, so they call it riba fahish, riba which is extreme. Okay, so here Allah says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la ta'kulu riba adha'afa mudha'afa. Okay, oh you who believe, do not eat riba double and multiple. Okay, so there are riba which is small amount, but there is riba which is huge. So here Allah only forbid the riba which is huge. That is the third phase. The last phase, which is the next slide, then Allah SWT makes riba which is totally haram. Okay, very clear. Allah says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu taqullaha wa dharu ma baqiya mina riba in kuntum mu'minin. Oh you who believe, observe your duty to Allah. Ittaqullah. Ittaqullah, that means be fearful to Allah. And remit the balance of usury if you be in truth believer. That means stay away from all kinds of usury and riba. Okay, so from this verse on, riba is totally haram until the end of this. Alright, so the next one. So when you talk about riba, there's two types of riba. We call it riba an-nasi'ah and riba al-fadl. Riba an-nasi'ah is riba from loans. That means if let's say you give a loan to somebody, loans in Islam is called qardun hasanah, good loan or beneficent loan or friendly loan. That means when you give money, you're supposed to receive the same amount of money. Alright. But when you give loan, it is encouraged for those people who receive loan to give more. So if you take $1,000, it is encouraged on your part to give 1,200 or maybe even 2,000 out of your goodwill. But it must not be conditional. You cannot tell the person, I'm going to give you, Mr. Nice, since you are a nice person, I give you $5,000, but you must return me, okay? So you like macam, you make him understand that you're supposed to give more. Okay, that is riba. Alright, so riba on loan. And the second thing is riba, and riba. Riba, the second one is riba al-fadl. Okay, riba which is based on transaction of money. Okay, when you talk about changing money, then there is also another form of riba. Or when you talk about the trade. Okay, so when you talk about riba nasi'ah, nasi'ah means delayed. Okay, where Allah says innaman nasi'u ziyadatun fil kufur. Okay, here nasi, because in the Arabs the word nasi, nasi bukan nasi makan, nasi here is actually addition. Because the Arabs in the time of Jahiliyyah, there are 4 months which is forbidden for them to go into war. Okay, which is called Shahrul Hurum. Okay, the unlawful months, which is month Zul Qa'idah, Zul Hijjah and Muharram, and also the last month which is the month of Rajab. Okay, so these 4 months, you are not supposed to go into war. But the Arabs, the one who determines this month, sometimes they can add and sometimes they can minus off. So it's up to their own fancy, up to their own advantage. Okay, so they can delay this 3 months. okay, for their own purpose. So Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala says, you do not add, because this practice which is done in the Jahiliyyah, we should stop. That means when you have a calendar, you should follow up with that calendar lah. Don't you just change it lah. So here Allah says nasi. So that's why our scholars say the riba and nasi'ah is actually the addition from the capital that you have given to the person. Okay. So if let's say you give 1,000 and you ask the person to pay even $1, that $1 is considered as riba, no question. Alright, or you $10, and some people, when in the Arabs, in the time of Jahiliyyah, when you loan them, you say you pay 1,000, I give you 1,000, you pay 1,400, and if you can't pay, then I will. If you delay, then you will add 1,800, and you can't, then I'm going to take your piece of land and so on. So riba is actually a very oppressive form of loan. Okay. And here, and just now, previous slide again, the definition that I've made just now. Okay, this is the definition with regards to loan of the riba in loan. Kau scholars say, kullu qardin jara naf'an fahuwa riba. Every loan that brings any form of benefit, this is considered as riba. No question. Okay. Now, next one would be riba. Next one. Okay, riba al-fadl. Fadl means value. You say fadilah. The fadilah sedekah, fadilat sedekah. Fadilat, that means the value of sedekah, the value of salah, the value of wudu. There's a lot of rewards that Allah gives. So riba al-fadl mean the value. Okay. So when you talk about buyu or sale, you are talking about the exchange of money. Because the Prophet says, al-dhahabu bil-dhahab, gold with gold, al-fidda bil-fidda, silver will silver, wal-bur will bur. Iaitu is a kind of wheat with wheat, syair bil syair, barley with barley, tamar with tamar, dates with dates, milah with milah, salt with salt. Then the Prophet says, mithlan bi mithlin. Mithlan bi mithlin, that means equal to equal. Okay? Same with same. Sawa'un bi sawa'in, yadan bi yadin. That means hand to hand. Okay? So here they are talking about the exchange of money. When you exchange money, there must be two things that you must consider. First thing is that it must be of equal value. Okay, so if let's say you have this is the money transaction that you have. You want to change money with Singapore money with Malaysian money. Okay, so you have $100 Singapore, then you should get how many ringgit? Oh, so 305. So exact. Okay, now is the exchange rate 300 lah. 300 ringgit. So when you exchange, you must get 300 ringgit. But if the person gives you 200, 100 ringgit is riba. Okay, and you must exchange immediate. They call it spot. Okay, so I give you $100, you must give me 300 ringgit immediately. You cannot delay 1 day or 2 days. That 2 days is also considered as riba. Okay, so these are actually, according to the time, the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, these are actually currencies. They use this for money. Okay, they could use of wheat, they use barley, they use dates as a form of exchange money. And also salt. Okay, salt is also a form of money. Okay, that's why you have salary. If you are not familiar with this, salary. So sal, if you anybody learn French here? Knows French? Tu parles français? So do you understand? You know Dalifran, Dalifran. Okay, sal is actually salt. Okay, salt. Ari is actually month. So it's actually your monthly salt. So back then, they say, according to history, according to our historian, the Romans used to pay their soldiers with salt. Okay, so you trade this salt for cash. So that is called your salary. Okay, so salt has been used as a form of currency. So when you want to exchange, then you must exchange with the same value. And how did the Prophet know during back then about money? Okay, so in Medina, if you see Medina during back time, there are many money empires that create their own money, which is based on gold and silver, right? Dinar and dirham. Okay, so when you have dinar, you have the Persian dinar, and then you have the Roman dinar, and then you have the Ethiopian dinar, because these are all big empires. You have also the Egyptian dinar, And then you have the, in Yaman also they have the empire. So all these dinar, they are of not the same value. Because they have different size and different weight. So if you are in Medina, you need to use the same currency, yeah? Same currency. So whatever currency that you come, you have the same value. Same thing with the exchange of Singapore dollar and Malaysian ringgit. Okay? So it must be of equal value, and it must be exchanged for spot price. Alright?
Touch on this one, silver by silver, right? So assuming, let's say I'm supposed to get a commission, say 2%, but the client says that I don't have money, I want to pay by installment. Can I say that, okay, since you want to pay me by installment, you pay me 2.5%? Would that 0.5 be riba?
Okay, that will be riba. That will be riba.
So I have to stick to whatever practice relevant.
Okay, because now you're talking about money. Okay, you talk about money. So if let's say you receive a commission of 2%, say 2% is about $5,000 lah, or $10,000. So now he owes you $10,000. Now that is actually loan. Okay, now you say you pay me 2.5%, that means you are supposed to pay 12,000, say 12,000%, $12,000. That 2,000 is actually riba. Okay, so we are not supposed to increase lah.
Even though we stretch over a year, the installment,
that means you have to pay exactly the same amount. That is considered as friendly loan. Okay, right. Even in Islamic bank, if let's say you are supposed to pay a certain amount of money, they cannot add anymore. That's why Islamic banks, the practice of payment is fixed. Some people they prefer Islamic banks, and even up to a point, if you pay late, they cannot charge you late payment fees, because late payment fees actually beyond the amount that you're supposed to receive. But Islamic bank charge you late payment fees, but the money should be given to charity. Okay, give to charity. That's the practice of Islamic banks. So they say, Islamic bank tak payah, no need late payment fees, then nobody pays. Okay, nobody pays lah. So you charge them late payment fees, but this money you give to charity. That's why Islamic banks once in a while. Okay, last week we gave about 150,000 from late payment fees to charitable organisation. We give to madrasas, we give to mosques, all these monies. Okay, right. So we are not supposed to earn that money, but we need to charge, or else people don't pay to the bank, right?
So sorry. So if let's say I charge 2% and I take the money for charity, hiba?
Cannot. Even cannot. Okay, even cannot. So that means if you give any loan, it's between you and that person lah. It's just like family members ask you for loan. You say, can borrow 10,000? You say yes, but then I give you 10,000 lah, and you have to pay back 10,000. Okay, right. It's friendly loan. Okay. And normally, if let's say family members take loan, and you have to be careful lah, because normally these people, you are not like a organisation, you're not a bank. So if let's say you take a loan, you have to take the risk of people not paying lah. Okay, and normally people don't pay. Be careful. Normally people don't pay because you are not an organisation whereby you can charge them and you can send lawyers letter and so on. So when you give any, even though if you write on papers, but if let's say you take you give him a loan of 10,000, please write it down. Please write it down even on a piece of paper. Okay, you can write an IOU. Okay, I so and so taken and so $10,000. Okay. And then, okay, you should take a installment payment of how much lah. All this must be clear, and then you sign. Okay, but if the person don't pay, this is actually your money. Okay, because one day if the person dies, you can go to the family member and you say, because normally our community, when a person dies, you say, anybody owe any money, please come and collect. But if you don't have black and white, the family cannot pay you. I'm not going to pay you if let's say you come and claim from my family members. Okay, and suddenly you say, hey, this person owes me $10,000. Where's your black and white? Where's your paper? I'm not going to pay you. Okay, but if you have that black and white, they say he owes me, and this is the agreement that we have, I'm going to pay you. Because the first thing that you have to clear after death is the operations for the funeral. After that will be any debts. You are talking about personal debts, not the HDB debt and all that ones. That one is another thing. That one the company will have to deal with whatever default mode and whatever. Okay, right? Okay.
This one applicable for landlord. mana the tenant doesn't pay on time, then typically in our contract it will put down that okay, the landlord can charge a certain amount after a certain delayed payment period. So that's considered riba also, which is if collected then it should be given to charity from the landlord.
No.
Perspective.
If let's say you talk about landlord, it's a different thing because you're talking about payment.
Rental.
If let's say this agreement of rental, if somebody breaks the agreement, you can charge penalty. Okay, so that means if let's say you don't pay a certain amount, and then you charge them, there will be increase of maybe what? Is that a normal practice? Late payment?
Yes.
How much you charge?
10%.
10% of the charge. So if let's say it's agreed, it's a penalty, you can take it lah. The landlord can take the money. Okay, because it's a delayed. Okay, delayed payment. Alright, that's how I understand lah. Okay, but now you are giving loan. Okay, you giving loan is another principle. Rental is a bit more flexible. Okay, right. Okay, so here riba al-fadl, and also it happens here is that it happened because the Prophet ﷺ gave Bilal, one of the companions, 2 kilos of great dates, and somehow Bilal, he took these 2 kilos and he changed for 1 kilo of better dates. So the Prophet ﷺ said, this is riba. Okay, what he needs to do is he needs to change the 2 kilos for money, then he buys for 1 kilo of this. The reason is during back then, the value of the 2 kilos is not clear. Okay, that's why the Prophet said, sell it first, then you buy the better better dates, because that 2 kilo could be between 2 kilos of one date and you might get 1.5 kilo. Right? That's why there's riba, because when Bilal exchange, you only get 1 kilo. The 0.5 kilo he did not benefited, and that is considered as riba. Okay? Right. Okay. Anyway, riba al-fadl, it goes into trade of currency lah, changes of currency. So we are not, unless you are doing cross border transaction, ada beli rumah dekat have you bought house in KL ke apa, ada yang buat and then there's change of currency, and then you send your money, and then sometimes you need about 2 days before the money can ada tak siapa-siapa? Ada. So if let's say you go into currency between borders, then our scholars say you can, it's not necessarily spot immediately, you can have either T+1 or T+2 or even T+3. Okay, that means if let's say you have deal with the currency, I'm going to send you money, but today I cannot send you money because the bank need to process your application. Only after 3 days, then you can send the money. That is also considered as spot. That is considered as immediate. That is based on what is the general practice of the banks. Okay. All right. Next one. Wisdom behind prohibition of riba. So if let's say you study why Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala forbid riba, in fact there's so many. Okay, part of the reason is that it is an oppression. Okay, oppression, because with riba only the rich will become richer. Okay, they can loan their money and the money will make money. Okay, and secondly is giving wealth to the rich. Okay, so the only one who can make money, and also the rich will take your property. They give you loan, and if you can't, and they will also take your collateral. Okay, normally when you go to the bank, they will take collateral, right? Okay, there is so if let's say the rich give you loan, they will take your land as your collateral. If you can't pay, they will take up your land. Okay, so it's a very oppressive, and people lose their property because of the loan. And if you see some places, people commit suicide. Okay, people commit suicide because of the loan. They can't pay, and then the institution goes after them. Consuming wealth wrongfully, cause of hostility between men, harm society, because of riba also. One of the part of the reason is that it creates inflation. Okay, because you have to create new money to pay off the interest. Okay, and it takes away Allah's blessings. Right, next one. Okay, differences between riba and profit. Just now somebody said, oh Ustaz, riba and profit, what is the difference? Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala says, ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّهُمْ قَالُوا إِنَّمَا الْبَيْعُ مِثْلُ الرِّبَا. That is because they say that trading is the same as riba. Wa halallahu al-bay' wa harrama riba. Allah makes trading permissible, but He makes riba haram. Okay, so we need to understand what is the difference between trade and riba. So riba is so I prefer kalau ada tu senang tak apa. Riba, when you talk about profit means there is an exchange of goods. There's exchange of goods. So if let's say an exchange of goods, that means you can charge any profit, and there's no limit to the profit. If let's say you sell selendang, you want to charge a profit of 200%, is it okay? Is it okay? Okay. Kalau you beli selendang Nelofa tu agaknya berapa persen dia buat profit tu? Ada siapa-siapa pakai Nelofa punya selendang? Ada? Tak ada Ribu-ribu. Memang untuk ribu-ribu So kalau dia beli dia punya selendang, if she buys the selendang probably from China, okay, cost price maybe RM100, but she can sell for RM2,000. Okay, why? Because of the brand. Same thing with our bag. When you talk about Birkin's bag, you talk about Prada, you talk about LV, these are made in where? Made in China. Okay, so in China they can have a cheap labor but skillful labor. Okay, cost maybe about $100, but they charge you for $3,000, $4,000. Alright, so you can have huge profit. It's okay in Islam. Alright, and in fact, the easiest example is that your mineral water. Your mineral water, if you buy, how much is the cost price for one bottle of mineral water? Anybody have tried selling mineral water before? One bottle 500 ml berapa? How much is it? Could be just about 15 cents. No, cost price. Cost price 15 cents. Maybe 20 cents. But when you sell it, 7-Eleven, $2. How many percent? How many percent markup? Alright, so as long as people is willing to pay, it's okay. Alright, in Islam there's no limit, but you as long as it's market price lah, as long as there's people who wants to buy your goods lah. You sell so high, nobody buys, then it's your loss lah. Okay, right. So that is actually profit. Alright, but when you talk about riba is actually based on just plain loan. I give you money, and that is actually the business of the bank. Okay, bank they take loan from you, the depositors, and they give you 0.04%, or maybe they give you 1% fixed deposit for a certain time, certain year, and then they give you loan either for companies or for personal. They charge you 5%, 10%, and what's the biggest loan that the biggest interest that they charge in which product? Credit card. Credit card is actually the biggest profit that banks make. Okay, they charge you from 24% to 30%. Okay, that is not inclusive of the late payment, late payment fees. Okay.
So, you were mentioning about this price increasing, right? How about, let's say I have a vintage money which previously cost $50 back in 50 years ago, but now it costs 3 times more.
Okay.
Can I sell it and then?
All right. Okay, question with regards to vintage money or old currencies. Old currencies are no more currencies anymore. Those are actually artifacts. Those are actually unique items. Okay, but if let's say you're talking about money, so if let's say I give you $100, you're supposed to give me back $100, right? And if let's say you change currency, then must be of equal value lah. Alright, but when you talk about old currency, okay, you have the banana currency, that you cannot use the same lah. That one is actually artifacts. That is actually ancient money. That is another thing. No more in circulation. Okay, for if it's in circulation, then you have to use the same money. People won't pay you more. But now it is rare. You can sell it at higher value, no problem. Okay, that is actually collector's item. Okay, no collector's item. There is no more currency. Okay, if people say that is currency, knock his head, because it's not the same value, man. It's understood. It doesn't make sense. Okay, right. Okay, and forgot, if let's say money with money, because some people I've traveled to Bangladesh, and some people during Hari Raya they change money, and the Bangladeshis they go to the market, they don't go to the bank, you go to the market and change money, and they say if you want you want 1 million taka, I'm going to charge you 1 million and 100 taka or 1 million and 2,000 taka. Okay, is that 2,000 riba? Huh? It's not riba because that's service charge. That's service charge. Because you change the money at the bank and then you go to the market and then you allow people to just change with you the crisp and nice takas. So because people give you the old, crumpy and dirty taka, you mark up. And that markup is actually service charge. Service charge. Same thing, I think, if let's say you change coins, does the bank charge you extra? Because that's service charge. Service charge. Because you cannot say, "Oi, I give you 3 bags of coins, okay, worth of $10,000. You should give me $10,000." That's not fair. Okay, the bank needs to count and wrap all this money, so they have to charge your service fee. Alright.
Kalau Hello Kitty $2 kita jual 200.
Hello Kitty $2, you sell for 200. That's your understanding. That's actually trade. That's actually trade. Okay? Because sometimes your Hello Kitty sometimes maybe berkat sikit ke? Ustaz Kamal dah kiss sikit lah. Or maybe Hello Kitty is somebody punya some sheikh ke apa. Alright? Dia dah bacakan doa ke apa. And then you want to sell it for $200, up to you lah. That is actually trade. And trade can be, you can sell at any value. Okay? Right. Okay.
Currency investments. Macam you can buy, they say one point of time Australian dollar was 0.9 of Sing dollar, one point of time. So we can buy Australian dollar, then we keep. Then when the value of Australian dollar becomes 1.2 or Sing dollar, then we sell everything.
Okay. Okay. Question with regards to currency trading. Currency trading generally is halal. So if let's say you want to speculate, okay, now if let's say the ringgit, ringgit, you think that the ringgit will rise, right? The ringgit will rise, so you buy ringgit now, kan? You buy ringgit now and then you keep it. After 1 year, ringgit rise. So you make money, you make money. Up to you. Okay, that's currency trading. And if let's say you want to buy online, can. But now online trading is different. Online trading, basically our scholars say it is haram because you go into margin trading. Margin trading, that means you have to buy, you have $1,000 but you trade with $1 million. And you have to borrow that money. Okay, you take a loan. That part is actually riba. Okay, but if you trade 1 million for 1 million, it's okay lah. Just what you do over the counters lah dekat kedai mamak ke apa kan, no problem lah. That's actually that's allowed. Even if you want to speculate.
You mentioned earlier about how if you were to change 100 for 100 is okay. But then if let's say you were to take a loan, in that sense it's more on the leverage aspect kan, in terms of online trading. If let's say if I were to trade on 1,000 for 1,000, then it's perfect.
Perfect. No problem.
I don't involve myself in the leveraging or gearing.
Correct. No gearing, no margin trading. It's okay. Alright. And yesterday on Saturday, somebody says there's also certain Islamic banks that allow for Islamic margin trading. They use Islamic facility. It's up to you. But the problem is that when you take that margin facility, is based on riba. And normally when you go to forex trading, you have to leverage lah, because the profit is just a small amount, right? 1 or 2 pips, 3 pips. So if let's say you buy $100, you don't make any much profit. So you have to trade in millions. Okay, so you have to go to margin and you have to borrow money. That involves riba. If you can have an Islamic facility where Islamic bank say, okay, I'm going to give you Islamic facility. Okay, and it's based on not riba, but they say they have facility called commodity murabah or tawarruk. So you use that facility, no problem lah. Okay, the issue is riba in that trade, not the process of forex trading. Okay, right. Okay.
So if you say online trading is haram, right? So kalau sekiranya orang tu betul-betul 1 million, dia taruh 1 million.
Okay, boleh. No problem. Kalau you trade 1 million with 1 million, no riba, trade. Okay. And also another issue is that some scholars say you are not allowed because you are speculating. Speculating is halal. Speculating is halal. Everything is speculation. You buy shares also is speculation because you want the price to go up. Okay. And you want to trade. So it's speculation. You buy property is also speculation. You want to invest. You buy this and you hope the price to go up. That's speculation. Alright. So some scholars, they are a bit more, I don't know why they say speculation is haram. And also speculation, and they say, oh, speculation is, oh never mind, I don't want to go into that issue, panjang sangat lah. Okay, but bottom line, you trade forex with the same amount of money you have, halal. The same thing if let's say you go to the mamak counter and you say, I want to buy ringgit, 1 million ringgit, 1 million ringgit now, it's the same thing. Alright, so after 3 days, suddenly the ringgit goes up, then you make some money. Okay?
Kalau sekiranya kita, example like shares, right? You put 1 million, but they don't ask you to pay on the spot 1 million. 3 days later, 5 days later, they ask you to pay the 1 million.
Then you go to margin shares lah. Margin shares. Okay? Because if let's say you don't pay, shares also the same thing. They give you margin trading, margin account. And I know there are certain shares that you have certain margin trading lah. Okay, not all shares. So if let's say you go to margin, that means you go into loan, borrow money. Okay, so that is not allowed. If you want to buy shares, you buy cash. Okay, you have 1 million, you buy anything, you say, I want to buy. And also shares, you have to go into shares which is allowed in Islamic lah, which is Sharia compliant. Okay, you don't buy shares which is OCBC, you don't buy DBS shares because that is riba. Okay, and you don't buy insurance company because insurance company also they invest, their main income is also from fixed income instrument, which is interest based. But you can trade REITs, you can trade with services companies, which is halal lah. Don't buy porno. Don't buy company which deals with adult materials. Don't buy with regards to riba, and don't buy alcohol. Don't buy Asia Pacific breweries. Don't buy Carlsberg. Okay, the rest you want to buy, you can carry on. Okay. Alright. I think that's it. Boleh Okay, next one. So difference between riba. Okay, carry on. Next one. How to cleanse riba? Okay, cleanse riba here I just mentioned just now, which is Allah said, "In tubtum falakum ru'usu amwalikum." And if you have made taubat, that means you have realized that riba is wrong, then Allah only allows you to take back your capital. Okay, there's a lot of questions that I received. Ustaz, then what happened? My previous investment, which is riba, can I take? What is my opinion is that you can take everything. Okay, use the money that you get, whether is it from insurance. Some people they get insurance punya maturity, they get the money. Take the money, use it, but don't repeat it again. Okay, because in the thing is that when you want to talk about fatwa, you talk about fatwa. When our scholars come up with a certain fatwa or rulings, it's not just based on Quran and Sunnah alone. Okay, fatwa is a very long process. First thing is, of course, you take Quran. Okay, and then you look at the Sunnah. And then our scholars will look at ijma. And then we look at qiyas. It doesn't end there. We use other facilities. We call it as maslahah. Maslahah, that means public good. Okay, you don't do something which cause harm to the public, because whenever any fatwa that is issued, it is for 800,000 Muslims in Singapore. Okay, not only for one or two, and also about 300,000 families. That is the number of Muslims here in Singapore. 300,000 families. So when you give a fatwa, it must be beneficial for all these things. They look at maslahah, and they look at saddu zara'i. Saddu zara'i, which is there must if there's any harm that might come to the community, they must also close the Pandora's box. Okay, and they look at qawaid fiqhiyah, they look maqasid syariah. All these are so many tools before they come up with a certain fatwa. So you don't just come with Quran and Sunnah and suddenly you say, Ustaz, my Ustaz say wrong lah, haram lah riba. And why I say wrong? Because Quran already say haram. No, you don't look just at Quran and Sunnah. You have to look at all other things. Okay, in fact, there's about 12 or 13 methods that you have to use before you issue any opinion. And also our scholars say in the Islam, all this Sharia, there are 5 things that Allah SWT wants to protect. They call it maqasidu Sharia, the maqsad of the Sharia. The purpose of the Sharia. First thing is to preserve our religion. Okay, and secondly is to preserve our life. That's why life is very important. Okay, and thirdly is to preserve your family. Okay, family and your descendants, and to preserve your mind, and lastly to preserve your wealth. Okay, so these are actually the principles of the Sharia, because Islam wants our wealth to be preserved. Don't waste. That's why Islam says don't waste your money, and also our money should be passed down to our generations. All right. So these are all the principles of the Sharia that we have to take into consideration before we come into any rules and regulation. Okay, so it's a very complicated process, very long process. That's why kita ni, we don't just say, oh Masya Allah majlis fatwa ni, oh semua ni tak ada faham-faham ni orang. Some people criticize. They say, apalah Muiz ni keluar with fatwa such and such. There's a long process. Sometimes it takes years, it takes months before any issues is being they come up with any opinions. Okay. So now you have to, actually in Quran they say you can just take your capital, but wallahu alam, I think because of our situation you can use the money and then you don't repeat it again. Okay. Next one. Okay, riba in the purchase of house. When you talk in today in Singapore, we have only loan. We take loan. Okay, so it's basically riba. But I said, okay, we have discussed riba which is apa? Either darurat or riba which is halal, because we have no alternative, no Islamic bank which offers an alternative to the conventional bank. But if Islamic bank, then they can offer you all these facilities. They call it murabaha. Okay, murabaha means profit based. So if let's say you want to buy a house, the bank can say, okay, Mr. Nice, I'm going to buy for you the house, then I'm going to sell it to you. All right. So the house costs 300,000. So the bank say, I'm going to buy 300,000. But I'm going to sell to you for 450,000. Okay, Mr. Nice? Boleh? Tak boleh? Mahal sangat. That's actually when banks, Islamic banks, they say cost price is 300,000. But selling price is 450k. The 450k ni, they base also on interest calculation. Because that's how bank calculate. Okay, so if let's say you calculate pun, interest pun macam tu harga dia. So they charge 450. Alright, so they say only 450 now, there's no increment. That means 450,000 ni, you base for, you pay for 20 years. 20 years times 12, you have apa? 240 months. 240 months. So they calculate lah, 450,000 divided by 240 months, that's the amount that you pay monthly. And the amount will not change, it's fixed. Okay, but if let's say based on interest, the interest can change kan? They say, oh suddenly, because of cyber, they change. Okay, now you have to pay 7%. Increase lagi 8%. That's why there's a lot of issue in terms of riba. So you think you pay 450,000, but in the end you pay 500,000, or you can be paying 600,000. But in Islamic practice, 450 fixed, nothing. Okay, that's why here the Islamic practice in German, the Germans they love Islamic banks because they know their liability is fixed. All right, and even the non-Muslims, they are actually buying houses based on Islamic principle because they know it's fixed. Because conventional they can increase, okay, based on the interest rate. Okay, so you can use that murabaha, or you can use ijara. Ijara means loan. Ijara means rent. Okay, so you pay rent monthly. But at the end of the rental period, same thing lah. So okay, you say 450,000, but I'm going to rent you. So you pay monthly. Based on this monthly jugalah, instead of paying, they call it rent. But the last payment of the rent, I'm going to sell you the house. Okay, they call it al-ijara thumma al-ba'. Ijara and sale. Okay, so the last payment is actually my sale to you the house. Alright, so that is ijara. Somehow MAS is not happy with these two forms. They don't like murabaha, they don't like ijara. Okay, and they like maybe musyarakah. Okay, musyarakah they might be acceptable. So now people are discussing with MES, hopefully musyarakah. Musyarakah is another technique whereby, okay, you have a house, okay, so you go into musyarakah with the bank because you have to pay down payment, down payment of 10%, right? So now you and the bank becomes partners. So you pay 10%, the bank owns 90%. So now the bank owns 90%, he's going to rent you. So if let's say they say, I'm going to rent you $2,000 per month, okay, so you don't pay $2,000, you pay $2,500 per month. $2,500 per month, because that $500 extra is used for the payment of buying your share. Okay, so every month you are paying extra $500 for you to increase the ownership of the share of the house, up to a point whereby you will own the 100%. Okay. Also from this $2,000, since you own 10%, the bank will also pay you your share, right? Alright. So $200 is actually yours. The bank only owns 1,800. That 200 is also plus into you. So that means you are paying $700 to pay back to earn the portion of the bank. So that means your equity every month will increase. That is actually musyarakah mutanaqisah. They call it descending partnership. Alright, so that is being practiced in the Middle East. They like this structure, and somehow this is the structure that they want to propose to MAS. Maybe it's maybe possible. Okay, so Wallahu a'lam. Okay, so musyarakah mutanaqisah. Alright, the next one, Riba and Cpf. A lot of people ask me. Okay, now this is the detailed explanation on riba. Okay, first thing we need to understand is the purpose of establishing Cpf. It's established by the government. Alright, and who is the government to us? Who owns the government?
The people.
The people. We own the government. And how does the government earn their income?
Tax.
Through tax. Any other ways?
Extortion. Land sale.
Extortion.
Land sale.
Jual negeri. Okay, the government also, yes, earn from land sales also. But generally they earn from tax. Alright, the biggest tax is actually your income tax. And then you have your corporate tax, and you have your stamp duty, you have your ERP, you have your goods and services tax. And what else?
Casino.
You have your casino tax. Okay, what else lagi? Kuda punya tax. Tu banyak lah, tu banyak. Itu kira corporate tax lah. And all you have your liquor tax, you have your cigarette tax, all these are tax. So that's how the government earns their money. Alright, so what happens if the government don't have enough money? If at the end of the year, dia punya expenses is in deficit, or in the income is in deficit, what would they do? They will increase the tax. That's how the government works. Alright, so if let's say the governments, okay, now we need to know CPF is built by the government to assist the community, and CPF money is used for what? For housing and for retirement. These are the two functions of the government. That's why they have your ordinary account, you have your special account, you have your retirement account. Okay, all these to assist the population. So and form of income that is earned by a contributor of CPF. And the only way for you when you as the CPF contributor, how do we earn the income? The money? That means if let's say you have say 500,000 in your account, how do you earn income from there? 2.5% where you come from? Either you pay yourself. Can you pay yourself? When you buy house, you use your CPF money, right? And do you pay the interest?
Yes.
Ada tak? 2.5% you pay yourself, kan? So now your CPF is actually part of it is paid yourself. Alright? So now the other portion, if let's say there's excess, the government will invest your money. Where do they invest this money? They buy the bonds. They go to buy the bonds. Okay? Alright. How CPF guides its excessive returns now we will discuss. So next one. Okay, this is the account statement of CPF. You can go into cpf.gov and then you can go into the annual reports. Okay, it's public domain. Now you look at the statement of net assets of funds. That means you look at the assets of the CPF, because in balance sheet you have assets and liabilities. Now you look at the assets. The CPF, they have total assets, which is their property, plants and equipment. That means the building semua. Cost about how much? 166 million. Betul If you want to check, you go into the notes number 3. And then you have the intangible asset, which is 58 million. And then you have the investment. Okay, how much investments does the CPF have? They have 390 billion. Quite rich, 390 billions. So that is the investment. And then you have the cash and cash equivalent. They have only 403 million. Debtors and other receivables for 4 billion. So now the 390 billion, what do they invest on? Look at note 5. Okay, go to note next. Now you go to note 5. Note 5 talks about investment. So what are the investment used? First thing is held to maturity financial assets, special issues of Singapore government securities. That means these are special bonds that the government create for the CPF holders only. Okay, so when the government gives you income of 2.5%, sometimes they give you, normally it's 2.5%. Sometimes they give you 3.5%. Tahu? For what 3.5%? They give you extra 1% for the first 50,000. You can check now. And sometimes they give you 4%. For what is 4%? Your special account. And sometimes they give you 4.5%. For what? Retirement account. And then sometimes they give you 5%. Where? Some they give you for your top 50% juga in your CPF life. Okay? And some they give you 6%. It's all stated. These are actually the bonds which government create solely for CPF. That means the government take loans from us. Take loan from us so that they want to pay you back your income from the CPF. Alright? And these bonds are not tradable. That means CPF cannot trade this bond. These are especially for CPF. They are supposed to hold up to maturity. Okay? Hold to maturity meaning the government says, okay, CPF, I'm going to borrow from you $10 billion. $10 billion for 2.5%. Okay? And $10 billion for a period of 10 years. So CPF say, okay, Mr. Government, take this $10 billion and you pay me that 2.5% for 10 years. Macam tu. After 10 years, the government have to pay back the 10 billion. Okay? 10 billion. Suddenly the government don't have money, 10 billion. After 10 years, not enough money. What would they do? They can issue another security, take another loan, or they increase the tax. Alright? That's how government works. Faham? Simple. No brainer. The government makes money like macam not difficult. Okay? Alright. So now we understand. So now they say special issues of Singapore government securities, floating rate. Floating rate meaning the rate can be adjusted. Can be adjusted. And fixed rate, 49 billion. Floating rate, 2.95 billion. Okay? And then you see available for sale financial asset. That means these are things that they can sell. Singapore government securities, 490 millions. Singapore government securities which is available for sale, these are not the special bonds. These are normal Singapore bonds. Government sometimes they issue bonds to borrow money. Okay, why? Because they need to do projects. When they want to build the Marina Bay Gardens, the Marina Bay Gardens, how much do they spend? You know? To build the iron tree, you know how much they spend? It's about $8 billion. $8 billion. So $8 billion, where do they get the money from? They issue bond. That means just now I mentioned to you about the bonds. They issue the certificates, any company can buy. So, and then these certificates, they give you returns of, normally Singapore government bonds is about 3.5%. So anybody can buy. So banks buys. Companies buy. And even if let's say you have the money, go and buy. Okay, but it's a very close punya business lah. Only some people knows how to buy these certificates. But you can get a return of 3.5%. Okay, so if let's say CPF buys 3.5%, do they earn extra money? 3.5 dia kasih kita berapa? 2.5. Then 1% they earn. Okay, so that kind of income is actually extra. Okay, statutory board bonds. If let's say other statutory board issue bonds, they can also buy, or they can buy corporate bonds. Okay, corporate bonds meaning some companies they issue bonds, like banks they issue bonds, they can also buy these bonds. Okay, right. So when you talk about riba in CPF, I've already mentioned it's not actually riba. These are actually apa? Profits from government. Okay. Right. Next one. So you look at this, they say also in note 5, you can read. The floating rate special issues of Singapore government securities are bonds issued specifically to the board, only to HDB, nothing else. So the government protects CPF to meet its interest and other obligation. They do not have quoted market values, and the board cannot trade them in the market, cannot sell off. They have to hold it to maturities. The interest rates of 2.5, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 6, okay, per annum for the securities are pegged to the rates at which the board pays interest to the members of CPF. The effective interest rate for the securities approximate the interest rate quoted above. Alright? And secondly, you see, the CPF invested jointly with lifelong, okay, I think ni tak perlu baca, boleh baca sendiri. You can access to my slides to the link. I think Mr. Nas nanti boleh share. Alright. Okay, next one. Okay, now about Singapore government savings bond. So it's the same thing. Now the government gives you the money to CPF. Is that interest that the government give, is it riba or profits? Okay. Now you understand as apa? Profits. Profits, senang. So sekarang dah jelas. CPF jangan kata oh ni riba nak kena bersihkan, or you want to cleanse it. No. You say CPF is actually your money. Alright? Okay. Now, next one. And also, okay. So what is the relationship between citizens and government? Okay. If let's say you have a father and then has a son. And now the father gives the son every month give money. Ada kasih apa? Dia punya allowance. Give son's allowance. So suddenly the son now have $5,000 in the allowance. So now the father needs money. So goes to the son and say, son, can I borrow your $5,000? Can I borrow? And then I give you 10% interest. I give you 10% interest. Is that 10% interest riba ke profit? This is not riba. This is considered as profit. Because the original money from the son is actually the father is actually giving the son the money. And also now he borrows from the son and he gives extra. The origin and the source of the money is actually from the father. This our scholars say it comes from one hand. The origin comes from the same source. This is not considered as riba. Okay. So the same thing, if let's say you have a company, you have your parent company and you have your subsidiary. Okay, you have your subsidiary. Okay, example is, any example? Say you have I think is Golden Chance. Golden Chance is the parent company. Second Chance is the parent company. Dia punya subsidiary is actually First Lady. Okay, First Lady. So now First Lady, Second Chance said, First Lady, I need money. Lend me 2 million. Lend me 2 million. And then I'm going to give you 5% interest. Is that 5% interest or 5% profit? Profit. Because Second Chance actually own First Lady. So it's actually subsidiary. So it is actually giving its own money to its own self. Betul macam tu dia punya konsep. So now when you talk about this is now we are saying this is the government. and this is the citizen. Okay, so the government now says, okay, Mr. Citizen, can I borrow money from you? I'm going to give you 3.5%. Okay, so now we lend the money to the government gives you 3.5% based on the CPF tadi. So that 3.5% is actually your profit, profit. Same concept. Okay? That's why we have to differentiate between what is actually the interest mentioned. Okay, is it riba or is it profit? So now you see here, citizens are the ones who form the government to run their daily lives and to ensure the smooth running of the country. Citizens could be considered as owners and the parent company of the government. Okay, the government was formed through democratic selection process of the citizen. Citizens are the ones who pay for the running of the government through their taxes. We pay the government, Okay, right. Do we pay tax? We pay a lot of tax, All right. So they are effectively the owners of the government. When government require monies to build projects and infrastructures, they would call out on the citizens to invest and put in their monies via issuance of securities such as bonds, treasury bills and notes. So these are actually they call it treasury bills and notes based on the tenure. Kalau lama they call it bonds. Kalau 3 years, 1 year they call it notes and they call it notes and treasury bills, ataupun they call it T-bills. A fixed amount of return is distributed to the investor via issuance of coupons or interest. So this interest is actually profits lah. Okay. Next one. Boleh? Tengok. Okay. Nasib baik tak bayar gaji Okay. So now we look at the income of the Singapore government. Here you can look at dia punya website. Okay, go to guidemesingapore.com. The Singapore government's total revenue is estimated at 69 billion as of the third quarter of 2017. Just 2017 earning close to about 70 billion. Third quarter je. That means end quarter should be about 70 plus billion. As with most governments, Singapore earns the bulk of its revenue from taxes. So that is taxes, income, property, excise, custom duties as well as GST. Stamp duty, ERP are all taxes juga. Cigarettes and alcohol and so on. Ada lagi tak tax? Road tax, road tax lagi. Macam-macam tax lah. Singapore government very creative. Very creative. Okay. So that's how they generate the money. And also the money also is made to good use lah. Okay, so you have good facility. And in fact, I attended a course in Malaysia. Singapore pays lesser tax than Malaysia. But you look at the infrastructure in Singapore compared to Malaysia. Okay, so they pay higher, tapi you pergi Johor aja, you kata teruk. Road aja dah kita kata dah memang susah dah. But Singapore okay, alhamdulillah lah, made to good use. Okay. And then the types of government securities. So the securities that is or the loans that is taken by the governments are Singapore government securities are issued to develop domestic debt market. Okay, so that means they issue to take up, because some banks they have too much money. Okay, too much money, so they need to invest. So government issue to take up the excess money, to give them the profit. SGS are marketable debt instrument issued for purposes of developing Singapore's debt market. They provide a risk-free benchmark against which other risky market instruments are priced off. So you can check, if let's say you go to SGX, some of you who are quite familiar with stock broking, you go into bonds. You go into bonds, then you can look into CPF bonds. Okay, CPF bonds. So that is actually tradable. That means you can buy and you can sell that. And CPF also they buy some of these issued directly by the government. They can buy and sell. Okay. But special Singapore government securities, and this is the one that they cannot sell, are non-tradable bonds issued specifically to meet the investment needs of the central CPF. Singaporean CPF monies are invested in these special securities which are fully guaranteed by the government. The securities earned for the CPF board a coupon rate that is pegged to CPF interest rate that members receive. And lastly is that the Singapore Savings Bond, and these bonds are also issued to citizens, so that we can generate more income lah. Okay, we taruh dekat fixed deposit cuma get 1%. Okay, if you are not familiar with shares, you might lose your money. Main beli barang aja tiba-tiba you lose money. And a lot of people lose money if they do not know how to buy and sell shares. So lastly, Singapore savings bond are non-tradable bonds issued to provide individual investors with a long-term saving option. Okay, right. Okay, so here in Singapore's case, our outstanding debt comprises Singapore government securities, special Singapore government securities, which is to the CPF, and Singapore savings bonds, which we do not issue to spend. Okay, they say do not spend. So what are the money used for? We instead invest all the borrowings proceed. So now the government take loans from us is for what? Investment alone. So now when you have investment, you generate apa? Profit. Cuma kita punya investment in Islam, it should be based on profit sharing lah. 30%, 70%, but now it actually is fixed lah. Alright. Okay. Next one, ada lagi? Dah habis dah. Okay, the use of government. Under the Government Securities Act, the Singapore government cannot spend the monies raised from these three existing domestic debt securities. All borrowing proceeds from the issuance of SGS, SSGS and SSB are invested. These investment returns are more than sufficient to cover the debt servicing costs. Okay? Right. Okay, ada. Lepas tu, riba in insurance pula. Last one. Siapa yang ada dalam insurance company, insurance Okay, now if let's say you go into insurance, what happens to the investment that you get? Okay, because in insurance, dah sakit pinggang ni. Boleh. Okay, for insurance, sorry. Okay, boleh. Okay, for insurance, you have two types of insurance. You have general insurance and you have life insurance. Okay, for general insurance is something insurance that you have according to the term lah. Alright. So if let's say you buy car insurance, end of the year you bayar, tak ada claim, apa jadi kepada premium tu? Hilang burn. Okay, so you have also medical you have your travel insurance. Ada lagi apa term insurance ni semua ni? Personal accident. You have life lagi lain. Maid insurance. All these are 1 year. Last for 1 year. If there's no claim, habis, burn. Okay. But if let's say you have life, then life you have life benefits. That means if let's say you die, you say I buy a life policy. If I die, you get a payment by the life insurance for $2 million. Okay. So if let's say you die, do you benefit? Tanam dulu. Okay. Do you say, oh, Alhamdulillah mati aku. Okay. Mati aku. Keluarga aku dapat 2 juta. Do you say that? No, you don't do that. Okay. Tak ada orang yang benefit from that. Okay, wife okay lah, Alhamdulillah lah. Alhamdulillah. Dapat pergi round the world. Round the world. Okay lah, nak buat apa-apa, nak kahwin lagi, pergilah buat. Boleh Cik Nas itu pandai-pandai lah masing-masing. Okay, tetapi in insurance, the issue with insurance that our scholars say there are three matters which is not Sharia compliant. The first thing is that they say is actually is riba. Secondly, they say gharar, and they say it is because of maisir. Maisir, they say it is actually gambling. This is when you go into insurance. These are the 3 matters that normally they will discuss. All right, maisir means gambling. Okay, gambling. But insurance, because they say is gambling, because every year you pay premium. Okay, you pay premium. If let's say you get into accident, then you earn. That's why they say gambling. But it's not gambling. You never benefit, kan? Do you benefit from accident? You don't benefit. In fact, you lose. Because there's a lot of problem that go, nak kena on and out, and then after that, sometimes you cannot use your car and so on, kan? Okay, so you never benefit. Okay? And in fact, gambling ni, if you want to understand what is gambling, our scholars say gambling, it must have certain features. Okay, the first feature, you must place a wager. And secondly, it must be based on chance. And it must be zero sum. They say zero sum. Okay, wager that means something that you put forward lah. 1 sen ke, 20 sen ke, gula ke, anything which is wager. And chance means based on chance lah. Nothing is not based on skill. And last is zero sum, that means you either win or you lose. That's it. Okay?
Is chance based on speculation?
Speculation is not gambling. Because speculation you don't have is not zero sum. Speculation sometimes you win some, you lose some lah. Okay? But here is totally zero sum. Okay? Either you win or lose. So they say in insurance is gambling. It's not gambling. It's wrong. Okay? Because when you put a wager or you put this amount of money, this is not wager. It's actually premium. And yes, of course, it's chance lah. But it's not a win-lose. It's actually, in fact, when you buy insurance, it's actually win. Okay? What is the thing that you win in insurance? If you don't go into accident, but you still win. What is that? What is the purpose for you buying insurance? Huh? Why? You get protection. And what is so good about protection? You get a peace of mind. That is the value of insurance. Okay, if let's say you buy a house in Johor, what type of house will you buy? Is it guarded ke non-guarded? Huh? Why you buy guarded one? Huh? Because of Malaysia, Because of Johor, your house can be robbed, kan? So you pay, and you pay extra money for that guarded house, but you get a peace of mind. That is actually insurance. Okay? So insurance actually gives you a peace of mind, and that is the value of insurance. You gain, actually. Okay. So it's actually not my say lah. Siapa yang kata my say not accurate. What they say gharar. Gharar means, they say gharar when you buy insurance, you do not know even what you get. You pay the premium, you don't even know what is the benefit that you get. Okay? But when you pay, it's not totally gharar. Gharar meaning when you pay, they base on your premium, based on your age, based on your sex, based on your health and so on, right? Gharar here is actually reduced. Because here the premium that you pay is actually based on, how do they calculate the premium? Do you know? There's a formula. The formula is based on, they call it actuarial science. They call it actuarial science. They based on actuarial. Actuarial, that means it's actually probability. Okay, so you based on your probability of getting accident. It's actually a science. Okay, so it's not just plain pluck out of the sky figure. They based on certain specific calculation. Alright. Last one they say is riba. Riba now is the real issue. Okay, because insurance, when they want to pay your premium, they want to pay your benefits, they have to invest your money, and they have to calculate correctly. That's why they buy fixed income atau interest-based instrument. They buy bonds lah. Okay, they buy bonds. So now the issue insurance actually riba. But if let's say the insurance buy Singapore bonds, is it okay? Okay lah. So now issue if let's say they buy other bonds, is it okay ke tidak? Itu yang issue nak kena explain tu.
Talking about only life insurance, how about like endowment also part of insurance?
So endowment pun same. Endowment that means you have benefits and also is investment. Okay, normally endowment they based on investment linked product lah. Okay, so the investment tu yang normally for insurance they will buy interest punya investment. That means they will buy bank bonds, they buy company bonds. Okay. Fixed income instrument. Okay.
Singapore they don't have any a lot of Sharia compliance.
That's the problem. That is the issue problem. Now, insurance is actually a requirement. Insurance is a requirement. It's a must. Because today we are not living like 1400 years ago. 1000 pandai-pandai duduk kat satu corner boleh hidup. Sekarang you live in a city which is 8 million people. Singapore targets berapa? 8 million. That was just about 10 years ago. They already planned all these things. We are supposed to have 8 million people. So imagine 8 million people crowded in a city. There will be a lot of responsibilities, a lot of liabilities. we need insurance. Tapi kalau tak ada Islamic insurance, you need apa? Conventional insurance. Okay? So conventional insurance at present pun darurat. We don't have takaful. So do you need to buy car? So car boleh beli BMW tak? Ataupun kita kata, car kena beli yang minimum aja. Semua ejen pun kena beli kancil. Pasal apa tu minimum use. So kita kena minimize dia punya riba punya value. Boleh? Semua kesian lah. Keluar cantik je. Tapi buat kancil. So you buy according to your ability lah. Your affordability. Okay? So that is the thing that you have now. Kan? Tak tanya pasal beli kereta So you buy according to your affordability. Buy. If you can buy a bigger house, buy. Okay? And affordability, that means you have to use a bank, buy a bank. Buy bank. People buy car pun tak buy cash Jarang orang buy cash. Some people buy lah. But generally you want to expand your resources. Okay? You pay installment lah. So you can buy other things or you can use your money for investment and so on. Okay? Alright. So riba ni isu ni. Sekarang riba ni macam mana insurans ni? Boleh ke tidak? Okay? So no choice lah. No choice. Okay? So if let's say you take endowment fund, because basically you buy pun it's not for yourself alone, it's for your family. Okay? So because people normally take insurance because of to protect their family. Okay?
Legacy planning also you can apply.
Macam?
Legacy planning. Let's say you have a lump sum whereby before you die you got a regular stream of income every month. And upon death you got the capital is still there for your family members as a succession planning. Does it apply?
Correct. Yeah, same thing lah. But if let's say there is an Islamic punya funds or Islamic punya facility, then you transfer lah. Kalau it's equal for equal that means the punya value is the same. Kalau punya value belum lagi the same, then you still can you can stay with the conventional.
But Singapore for Islamic punya principle, more higher risk. Let's say talking about investment, which not all people can actually take the risk.
Singapore investment, Islamic investment. Not true. Islamic investment actually is the same risk. Investment is still investment. Okay, so if let's say you buy Islamic shares, there's nothing about Islamic shares. It's the same. Okay, so if let's say I take a bit of time. You want to buy shares, investment kan? So Islamic investment meaning you only buy shares which is allowed by the Sharia. Alright? You buy shares which is, you can buy ComfortDelGro lah. Boleh tak? Boleh ComfortDelGro boleh beli? Boleh. Apa salahnya? ComfortDelGro they give you dividend. Right? When you buy ComfortDelGro, it is Islamic investment. Is it different between conventional investment? Sama. Okay? So the same thing, when Islamic investment, you want to go buy property. You buy property is the same kan? So there's no difference between Islamic investment and conventional investment. Okay? Right. It's actually the same risk. Cumanya Islamic investment restricts you from investing something which is not allowed by Islam. That's all. Macam juga kita kata makan, we can eat anything, but you cannot eat certain things that Islam don't allow lah. That's it. The same thing with investment. Okay? Right. Okay. So general takaful, family takaful, macam tu juga lah endowment. So life, you have family takaful. Okay? But in Singapore, insurance is necessary. You have to buy travel insurance. Right? So some people, they go to Umrah and Hajj, they still buy insurance offered by siapa? STNT Angolia Syahidah Travel Is it Islamic ataupun conventional? Conventional lah. Okay.
Cover medical. Not for other purposes. Only cover medical.
Okay, medical lah. Okay. So at least covered medical lah. But if let's say you want to increase to other insurance, boleh tak? Boleh add up lah. So something else lah. Okay, so insurance today is actually a requirement. So Islamic, if there's no Islamic insurance, then you go for the conventional. Okay, right. Especially for medical. Medical, I think, is wajib. Medical insurance, if you don't have, you could cause a lot of problem to your family. Okay, right. Okay, so now we have another 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Ada apa-apa question? Okay. Okay, mana? Oh, kat belakang. Oh, ada kat belakang. Okay.
I tak dengar your answer or you didn't answer about just now I asked about the profits, right? The dividends for Islamic banking and CPF interest. So we can spend on anything ke or
for Islamic banks, the dividends are actually profits. So or they give you hibah. Anything from Islamic banks pakai. Semua halal because Islamic banks behind them there are Sharia committee. Okay, behind them there are Sharia committee. That means it is a requirement for every Islamic banks to have a group of Sharia scholars to decide whether this is Sharia compliant or not. And I'm one of them. Okay, in Malaysia, it is a requirement by Bank Negara for all Islamic banks to have at least 3 to 7 people as the Sharia committee to decide on all the transaction. Kalaulah they do any transaction which contravenes the Islamic principle, the Sharia advisors can be fined and can be jailed. Okay, so you can be rest assured that all transactions involving Islamic banks are all halal.
So CPF interest pun okay.
CPF interest pun tadi dah cakap ni semua halal. Halal. Okay, because CPF interest firstly is that the interest is actually you are paying yourself. The 2.5% you are paying because you used to buy your house. And the other, all the profits are actually from the government bonds. Government bonds specially bought by the government to pay the policy holders of the CPF. Okay. So, and governments, I've mentioned, they own us or we own them. So, when we lend them money, we are actually lending to ourselves and the money is paid to us, we are paying ourselves. Okay. And secondly, that money used by the government is for investment. Okay, used for investment, used for roads. So basically, it's like musyarakah for us. Musyarakah, that means it's actually a partnership to go for the investment. We are supposed to get a certain percentage of the profits. But here governments, they don't share. They just tell you, I'm going to pay this much and take it. That's it. Okay, so that 3.5% ke 2.5% given by government or 4.5% in CPF Life, these are all profits. Okay. Alright, so if let's say you have placed your money in retirement fund, your CPF Life, so they give you 5%. CPF Life, they give you 5%. These are actually profits. Okay, you don't have to worry. So if any of your clients, they ask you about CPF, say all CPF monies are halal. Okay, cumanya bila dapat duit CPF tu, when you receive the CPF money, you have to pay zakat. You have to pay zakat. So how do you calculate the zakat? When you receive the money, okay, at the age of 55. At the age of 55, you get a lump sum. Sometimes you get 5,000 lah. Ingatkan 20 ribu. Macam tahu I tak tahu dapat 5 ribu ke tidak. Okay, nanti sekejap. Okay, so now at the age 55, katakanlah kaya lah. Macam kita punya kawan ni banyak duit. Dapat katakan 500 ribu. 500 ribu, you get 500,000. How you pay your zakat? You have two choice because these are the opinions of the two muftis, our present mufti and our former muftis. One of them says, with the 500,000, pay immediately, 2.5%. Okay, so if you get 500,000, 2.5% is berapa? 2.5 times 5 is actually about 12,000 12,500 Okay, 12,500 keluarkan, bayar. And this money you can give to Muiz or you can pay yourself. Or you can give to your family members who are in difficulty, you can give them every money. Hold on, 12,000 ni duit kau pakai. Lagi bagus, better. Because you assist you pay zakat and you assist your family members. You get two rewards. Okay? But you don't say this is zakat. You just say ni ada rezeki pakai. Alright. So or a second choice is that 500,000 you say wow. Nak pergi Spain, nak pergi Europe, nak tu round, and then you want to pay your house full, you want to pay this, you want to pay that. Pay first. After 1 year, whatever balance, then you pay zakat. So you have these two choices. Okay. So which one you feel comfortable, do so. Alright? Okay. Apa soalan?
Saya nak minta izin, boleh tak kita share this link, what you explain today, in your Google Drive, and put it inside the Facebook?
Oh, Facebook no, these are public domain. These are public information. This is not mine. You can refer back to the CPF punya website. No problem. No problem. Okay.
Kalau sekiranya yang tadi kan CPF kan, you were saying that CPF is all halal, right? So kalau sekiranya I think recently Presiden dah cakap yang rumah bayar pakai cash. Yeah, there was a news that rumah money installment bayar pakai cash. So if you pay by cash, so you have access CPF, say 500,000, or even if you have cash in hand, and you put inside a CPF, okay, so that you can get the 2.5% interest. Is it halal? Is that
halal?
Halal.
Okay, no problem. CPF is halal. So if let's say you do not know how to invest, so you have extra 500,000, so you say instead of me investing myself, I just place my money in CPF, and then I will get 2.5%. Up to you. Okay, CPF is halal. Okay.
Then how about people who actually buy properties and they take loan, extra loan, say 75%? They can actually pay another 25% using the CPF, but they don't tak nak pakai CPF, they masukkan dalam CPF, and the loan is 75%, so that they can get, because interest of the bank is maybe now 1.8.
Okay.
But when they live inside SPF, they get 2.6.
Okay, extra. Okay.
Extra. So how is that?
Okay, up to you. I think for you as advisors, you give the best advice to your clients. Okay, if you think that they can put this to give you the maximum benefits, that is actually the purpose of the Sharia. The purpose of the Sharia is to preserve your wealth. Preserve your wealth meaning you also generate the maximum returns. Okay, so Sharia doesn't say that you should get the minimum. Sharia says benefit, because that is how you, if let's say you are a government, you want to maximize also your returns. Okay, so if let's say that is the advice you think, okay, best you put this 2.5 into your account and then you use this, up to you. Because today you talk about banks, but we don't have Islamic bank. Kalau ada Islamic bank, you will still say the same advice. Okay, you go to the same Islamic bank and you will also say use this loan because Islamic loan. Okay, so today we don't have, use conventional lah. Okay, right. Okay, ada apa-apa lagi? Anything else? Okay.
So opinion on credit card facilities.
Okay. So what is my opinion on credit card? I also have credit card. Alright. So credit card you need to buy online. You don't have Islamic credit card, so you have to use it. And also credit card when you want to book hotels ke apa, you need credit card. So it's a necessity. Alright. Until you have an Islamic credit card, then you transfer lah. Okay. At present you use your credit card lah. But you restrict lah. You restrict your use of credit card lah. Jangan pula nanti bigger GSS Great Singapore Sale aja, wow. Then you spend more than is necessary.
The credit card is much more finally kalau kita bayar lambat.
Correct. But the thing is that credit card, kalau you go into Islamic credit card pun they will charge you the same thing. Okay? So if let's say you pay late beyond the term that they allow you, they also charge you. Okay, they charge you late payment fee and so on. Okay, so use as you, but try to reduce. Try to reduce. That means kalau boleh pay as early as possible to lessen the interest charge. Okay, so that's what we can do now lah. Okay, but credit card you need it. Alright. Okay. Alright. Ada apa-apa lagi?
Regards the insurance again, you were saying general insurance is enough because Dara is limited, but there's still a sense of riba. And what about life insurance? For instance, a person surrender before death, and the value, the surrender value is much more than the premium paid. So there is some so-called profit. So is that considered as riba? Can we utilize that?
Okay, for if let's say Islamic punya life insurance, they will also have the same facility. Because you have also life insurance with benefits and also payment if let's say death happens. Alright, so if let's say you have bought life insurance conventional, use whatever you have tu lah. Use it lah. Take it lah. Okay? So you don't waste your money. This is my opinion, because some say, oh, this money is actually you have to give away. It's actually a waste. Why should you give away? Okay, it's actually your money. Okay, part of the maqasid just now I said is actually to preserve your wealth. And also you need to ensure that your family, because basically when you buy insurance actually for your family. Okay, for family protection. And the principle is that to leave wealth to your family in good and materially well off is much better than you leave them in a state of poor and needy. Okay, so if let's say you buy for them, so be it lah. But again I say, if there is an Islamic insurance, then you transfer lah. Tapi sekarang dah tak ada. Tak ada. Okay, so you have to use whatever is available. Ya? Okay. Okay.
Tadi Ustaz cakap kalau nak kena bayar zakat kan, when the 500,000 from your CPF come out, then you pay the zakat, right? So if the 500,000 never come out, like CPF life
okay.
500.
Okay. So now okay, if let's say yang come out tu kena bayar lah. Because zakat dia punya principle the requirement of zakat is actually nisab. First thing we need to understand, it must be nisab. Nisab meaning you must have 76 gram of gold. Okay, because nisab, Islam needs to decide whether you are well off or not well off, whether you are rich or not rich. Okay, zakat is only for those who are rich to pay. If you are not rich, you don't pay. So this is the minimum amount that to decide that you are well off. 76 gram. If 76 gram, 1 gram berapa dolar sekarang? Oh, pandai pasal apa beli emas. Okay, $65 katakan now dah naik You see, you need to buy gold. So you can argue with your husband you need to buy gold. Why? Because gold is a hedging instrument. Because if let's say suddenly Singapore dollars become Zimbabwe dollars. Tiba-tiba dia punya duit tu daripada $1 dah jadi $1 million sama ke, kita punya duit semua hapus habis. But if you have gold, the value is still maintained. Okay, so you need to buy gold. So the best form of gold is buy jewelry for your wife lah. Okay, so if let's say you have gold which is 76 gram times 65, which is about $5,000, that is the minimum amount that tells you you are well off. And that money dia mesti ada haul. Haul, that means it must last for 1 year. What it tells you about this haul is that you are actually productive. If you are not productive, you are not working, your money will come down. Okay? But if you are productive, you are working, your money will maintain for 1 year. Okay? And thirdly, the syarat, the condition is that it must be, they call it milkut tam. Milkut tam meaning you must have total power of that money. That means it must be in your hand and you can spend anyhow you want. But if you don't have that ability, you don't have to pay zakat. So money in CPF is held by the government. You cannot spend. So you don't have milkut tam. So you don't have to pay. If we say you have to pay zakat, teruk. Kita nak kena bayar zakat, nak kena keluar from our pocket. We don't have that money. We don't have that cash. Okay, so it's actually detrimental to the community. You don't have to pay cash. And you don't have to pay that zakat. Okay?
The payout from the CPF life, for example, let's say you accumulate, you campurkan dengan you punya bank account, hit nisab dah kena zakat kan?
Macam mana? Dia punya payout?
You katakan every month $600 Tuan. Tak cukup kan? Tapi di $600 tu dicampurkan dengan you punya savings account.
Oh, you're talking about CPF life There are payoff after 65 After CPF?
Example.
Okay. Alright. now another thing is that, okay, if let's say you are, now you have payouts, payouts of $600 monthly, and then you want to add with all your savings semua, and then you want to check whether you have haul ke tidak, up to you lah. Kalau cukup haul ataupun cukup nisab ni, you want to pay zakat, you pay lah. Okay, but if you don't have enough, you don't pay zakat lah. Okay, the thing is that a lot of our community are not supposed to pay zakat. A lot of old people, they have cash dekat dalam bank dia. Dia kata, orang datang kepada saya, dia kata, Ustaz, saya ada duit 70,000 dalam akaun saving saya. 70,000. Yang 70,000 ni saya kena bayar zakat ataupun tidak? Kena bayar zakat tak? Saya kata, makcik jangan bayar zakat. Makcik jangan bayar zakat. Pasal apa? Dia pun tak ada CPF live, tak ada apa-apa. 70,000 ni, dia umur 70, boleh hidup sampai berapa? Singaporeans can last until when? Minimum 85. Nasib-nasib sampai 90. Lagi tak untung sampai 100. Tak untung, mati cepat baguslah. Jadi, kalaulah kita hidup sampai 90, 85, asyik makcik, 70,000 ni boleh last you how long? How much? Singapore nak bayar pun, you keluar dia punya service conservancy kena bayar, dia punya tu kena bayar, dia punya elektrik kena bayar. Lepas itu, kalau boleh, government taruh ERP kat kita punya hidung. Oksigen pun kena bayar. Cancel, delete, Okay. So now, kalau orang Malaysia, dia kalau retire, dia balik kampung. Tanam jagung, boleh hidup. Singapore mana nak lari? Okay, you cannot run. So, if let's say you last pun, minimum one day you spend $30. $30, Pagi, McDonald meal, pergi tengah hari, makan, lepas itu, okay. So, minimum $30 lah. Tu untuk satu orang, belum suami isteri, makan pun kena share, Okay, so 1 month you spend at least $1,000. 1 month $1,000, 1 year $12,000. 12K. After 6 years jadi berapa? 6 years habis. Makcik, after 6 years your money gone. And then lepas itu nak kena apa? Nak minta zakat? No, it's not right. Okay. So even though if you ask for any ustaz pun, they will say 70,000. Makcik, dah ada nisab, dah ada haul, milkutam. Dia kata makcik bayar zakat. Lepas tu dia keluarkan hadis, Quran lagi. Nanti makcik tak bayar zakat, nanti kena serikah. Kat tepi ni semua dengan emas semua, dengan semua tu. Sampai makcik tu in front of me nangis. Nangis lepas tu asyik makcik tak bayar. 70,000 jangan bayar. Pasal apa? Dia punya fourth principle you need to understand. There is another fourth thing. There is nisab, haul, milkutam, and it must be an asset. The fourth value is it must be an asset. That means the money that you want to pay, it must be an asset whereby it is an excess money that you can spend or you can use. That's why orang-orang kaya ni, rich people, when they spend, they don't have to worry. When you go to nasi padang, this is actually one of the litmus test, a decider. You pergi nasi padang, you makan, you main order ke ataupun you kira? Mr. Nice. Main order ke? Main order tak? Dia ni ada, dia kata apa? Sotong goreng 2 kasih. Lepas itu kepala ayam tu, kepala ikan tu kasih 2. Yang ini semua tu dia main 2 aja. Dia kata main semua tu berapa? $24. $24. Pay now ke pay cash? Dia kata. Jadi dia main tap aja. Orang macam ni bayar zakat. Orang macam ni bayar zakat. Tapi kalaulah kita pergi, dia kata, makcik, ini berapa? Sotong kasih ekor aja yang tu, ekor. Yang ini dia punya kepala ni kasih sikit aja. Nasi pun setengah Nasi 50 sen kasih 20 sen aja. Yang tu kira-kira $5. Makcik cancel yang ni. Kasih $4 aja. Orang macam ni tak bayar zakat. That is actually the way how you, because orang yang bayar zakat dia punya duit apa? In excess. In excess lebih dia mungkin belayar. Jadi sebab itu kita nak kena tahu, dia mesti asset. Tetapi yang 70,000 ni apa? Dia ni liability. These are the monies that you are supposed to use to maintain your life. And also, if let's say the person have cash, imagine if let's say you have your retirement fund. How much is your retirement fund you're supposed to give? 180,000 sekarang. Betul 180,000 you put in there is no zakat. 180,000 there's no zakat, and this makcik with 70,000 you ask her to pay zakat. Fair tak? Kata tak fair. That's why bila say makcik jangan bayar zakat makcik. Simpan duit ni untuk hari tua belanja. Makcik, terima kasih nak. Pasal apa? Orang kadang-kadang dia tak tahu. Yang kita ni kata pasal ayat Quran ni nak kena serika, dia kata saya takut kena serika. Okay, and some people bukan 70,000. Ada 40,000, ada 50,000, and this money is supposed to last you until 85. Mana boleh tahan? Tak boleh tahan. Okay, so you have to consider about the living expenses in Singapore. Okay, so zakat is not just plain tengok nisab haul makcik bayar. Makcik tu menangis tiap tahun dia kira dia kata duit ni tak lama lagi tak cukup ni. Jadi dia pun risau ni. Okay, dan kemudian tak ada addition lagi. Okay.
Tambahan okay. Jika sekiranya keadaan macam itu, yang 70,000 tu kan, makcik tu mempunyai satu keluarga yang anak-anaknya berkebolehan, adakah that rule you still apply?
Okay. Dia sebenarnya kalaupun now that makcik ada 70,000, kemudian anak-anak dia pun kasih. Tiap-tiap bulan ada 5 orang anak, setiap orang kasih 1,000. Okeylah, lumayan lah. Makcik tu pun tak akan nangis. Kalau jumpa saya pun dia kata, Ustaz, saya ada ni. Kena bayar tak? Dia nak cari, kena bayar ke tidak? Pasal apa? Ini orang yang makan kat nasi padang yang pilih-pilih sembarang macam ni. Dia tak ada risau punya. Tetapi orang yang tak pergi nasi padang langsung, they never go nasi padang. Okay, because they worry about that tu, ni people they ask you. Tapi kalau dah memang ada contribution, normally they are rested. Their money are all enough. That's why they want to bayar. That's why orang yang bayar zakat ni, dia tak risau. Dia tak risau, kena bayar berapa? 4,000, 5,000, no problem. I have one person ask me to calculate dia punya zakat. Zakat dia calculate 100,000. Zakat saja 100,000. So I said, your calculation is wrong. Because you should calculate your liability. You have to calculate your liability, your expenses, amount that you use for your family members. Kalau ada anak yang pergi universiti ke apa, all this you must minus off. Then you calculate your zakat. I calculate 80,000, save 20,000. Okay? Jadi alhamdulillah. Tapi dia bayar I certain percent. Ini bukan free punya Ini bukan free punya. No free meal no free meal. I save you 20,000, but you pay me something else also Jangan pula nanti buat bodoh aja. Boleh dah buat bodoh, tahun depan jangan jumpa lagi lah. Okay Okay, ada apa-apa lagi? We have another. Dah habis masa. Last question kalau ada. Last question, okay.
Ustaz, just now my husband spoke about if client pay us installment, right? Can we charge them a bit more? Okay, the reason is we provided a service. The way I see it maybe you can advise us. The way I see it is we provided a service. Our service cost, there's cost on top of like advertisement cost and maybe some of them got office, So all this is from our monies. So on top of that, we also have our bills to pay. Our house we pay by cash, our car we pay by cash. So if clients do that, right, even when we sell a condo, developer will also pay us a certain commission. So if your case has condition, there is delay, we will pay you a lesser commission. If your case is a straightforward case, it will give you a more commission. So in that case, in my opinion, I don't see it as a personal loan. I see it as I provided a service which you cannot pay me. So if you don't pay me on time, then I have to borrow from credit card, and that also kena riba.
Okay.
So maybe you can.
Alright, okay. That is actually a dilemma also by the Islamic banks also. Okay. When you talk about loan, based on loan, Because even if let's say you are a company, you want to base loan, loan then it cannot be just based on loan, based on money alone. You have to go based on the transactions tadi, murabaha ke, ijarah ke, ataupun musyarakah. What Islamic banks they normally do is that there must be a sale and buy and sell. Okay, so in Malaysia they call it commodity murabah. Ni kat Malaysia ada lah, dekat Singapore ni tak boleh buat macam tu. Okay, whereby they said, okay, I'm going to buy from you, you owe me $100,000. Okay, so I'm going to sell you $100,000 worth of palm oil. That's what they do. Okay, I'm going to buy for you $100,000 worth of palm oil. I'm going to sell you at is 100,000, but I'm going to sell you at 110,000. Okay, that is actually profit. That's how they do it. But here in Singapore, I'm not too sure about how you want to go around it. Okay, so if it's a company whereby you provide like a debt servicing punya services, frankly I do not know any solution. Okay.
Can she re-agree on the transaction price?
Tak boleh. It's just money based, and then you say, Ustaz, can we use time value for money? Time value of money, because money grows. If let's say there is a deal, there is a money, some transaction, say katakanlah, you dah memang jual rumah, dalam rumah punya harga tu you dah factor in dah. Baru cakap kita pasal rumah, tapi you're talking about commission, commission tak boleh lah. Commission tak boleh.
Kalau macam dalam commission slip tu selalunya dia orang ada letak percentage, ada letak percentage ataupun the amount. So kalau macam Mel dia gini macam, instead of letak percentage 2.5, we put an amount, the whole amount, and then you pay off monthly.
That means okay, if let's say your commission is 2%, so you agree that your commission, because you pay late, I'm going to charge you commission of 2.15%. Maybe lah, that's the money, and then you pay off 3 months. Because you already agreed, it's already dah tambah kan? Dah tambah upfront.
They have an option. Say, okay, if you can pay me now, you pay me the actual amount 2%. But if you have difficulty, to pay later or in installments, then you will be imposing on me. So I actually tell them, say, okay, you pay me 2.5.
Okay, maybe 2.5% commission. Based on commission lah. Okay, based on commission. So if let's say you can pay me, that's what I think lah, solution lah, maybe lah. I'm not too sure lah whether this is the best solution. But maybe you say my commission will be 2.15%. 2.15%, then you pay me every month for the next 2 years. Maybe lah. So that is not loan. That is actually the amount that you're supposed to pay an installment.
Tapi this is re-agreed. Mula memang 2% kan. Kita at the end of the day, when we ambil case tu, kita tak tahu yang dia nak bayar installment tak kadang-kadang. So after dah habis proses semua, baru sorry tak boleh bayar. Kita nak kena bayar installment in 24 months or in 1 year. Okay, so then tadi saya tanya, can we re-agree on the commission atau the transaction price? Ada that?
Boleh, no problem. No problem.
Ada that, because of the delay, I will be macam service charge. I will be engaging my husband to actually monitor you bayar setiap bulan. So the charges is as
you cannot charge service charge. Tak boleh service charge. Because in Islamic banking pun they only charge actual cost. The actual cost, they say actual cost. That means the actual work that I'm going to do, that is the amount that I can charge extra. Tapi itu minimal normally.
So the extra charge is because we have to engage somebody to look after your tiap-tiap bulan bayar.
Itu pun tak masuk. Tak boleh. Itu semua nanti dah masuk macam-macam lah. Itu nanti dah masuk macam ada loophole. You use that as a loophole to charge other things. But if let's say this is a solution, what I think is that if let's say you have to pay installment, then you charge him an increased commission. You say increased commission either 2.2% and 2.2% or 2.3%, you calculate lah. Okay, 2.3%. This is actually the amount that you're supposed to me. So since you are going to pay installment, I'm going to charge you 2.3%. You pay 24 months. Okay lah, fair macam tu. That one okay. That is actually money owed. Money owed upfront. Pasal 2.3% kan? You know the price, and then that is actually the money you owe. You pay 2.5%. But if let's say you want to pay cash, okay, I'm going to say I'm going to charge you 2%.
But we only know yang dia tak boleh bayar to the end.
Tak apa. You can renegotiate. you can renegotiate. But you must state lah, this is actually our agreement now. Okay?
Boleh tak saya sama hujah dia buat, sama senario, tapi saya buat dalam keadaan begini okay.
Kalau pembayaran saya dalam 5,000 tadi tidak dibayar dengan immediately lah. Okay. So what
dia macam ni tau. Dia lebih kurang the principle is you want to buy barang. You beli barang dekat Courts If you pay cash, you pay $60. But if you want to take 3 months, then they give you another price for installment. That's another agreed price. You have agreed price. That's not riba. Okay, that's why you can pay installment ni barang-barang. Okay, you can pay installment. Alright?
So if you buy from Courts, you do that, it's not riba also?
Yeah, it's not riba. It's not riba. Cumanya Courts ni dia charge tinggi tau. Dua kali ganda because they charge Courts they charge you. The way they charge you installment is that they make you pay weekly and only for $6. But then weekly is actually compounding weekly tau. Not monthly, weekly, monthly compounding, weekly compounding. So that means they charge I've calculated this in my class with my I don't want to mention the company name lah yang cerita pasal dia ada recording. Okay, so kedai jual barang-barang rumah ni, okay, they charge 1 year interest that they calculate is 40%. 40%. So if let's say you pay 3%, 3 years, that means you can imagine you're actually paying about more than 120% because it's compounding. So if let's say you want to pay barang-barang cash that's a different price. You pay installment another price. That one is upfront. You agree on the price.
You said that it's fixed service. The interest to borrow, to buy shares using the contra method is wrong because we borrow money, right? First. So
because to buy shares, let's say you want to buy shares 1 million, kita bayar 20% je, 80% kita pakai contra punya facility That means we owe them for 3 days for example.
Okay.
That is haram because it's considered riba. Tapi in this concept also we buy things from Courts, then we pay like throughout the 24 months. It's also riba, right? So but
it's not riba.
Okay, but what's the difference?
Okay.
I'm quite confused.
The different.
Just like buying a house, right? Second property, right? Correct. I also borrow money first, right? So the concept is all the same, but you said that for the property and the Courts is okay, but for the shares is not okay. So I don't understand.
Alright. So property kita beli pasal apa? Tak ada Islamic bank. Tak ada Islamic bank. It's not because of riba. Tak ada Islamic bank. Kita perlu pakai dia punya loan Dia tentang Courts ni ataupun tentang beli barang ni, kita boleh bayar installment based on the original price. Macam juga tadi saya kata tadi, beli rumah, Islamic bank dia akan belikan untuk kita rumah. Okay? So katakan rumah ni dia beli harga 200,000. Tapi dia jual dengan kita 300,000. Kemudian kita bayar monthly lah. Betul Okay, sekarang sama dengan Courts. Courts ni, kalaulah dia kata kita ni beli barang daripada Courts, sofa, harga 2,000. 2,000 you can pay cash. Ataupun dia kata kalau you want to pay monthly, I'm going to charge you $3,500. That's actually the value. Or maybe the cost will be $4,000. $4,000 for 3 years payment. That is actually another price. Okay, because when you pay installment, Courts pun tak boleh use the money. This is the argument They say you cannot use the cash and then you cannot regenerate new business. They allow you to increase the price. Okay. Tapi kalau margin ni is just based on loan itself. Loan saja. Loan That means you borrow money from them. Kalau margin ni you borrow money, then after that they will charge you interest for that loan. Itu riba. Itu pasal margin trading ni sama ada you use forex ke, you use shares ke, it is riba. Itu beza
Last call.
Okay. Because the place also pun ada dia punya tu
Sebelum bersurai, Ustaz baca doa. Kita ambil gambar dulu lah.
Oh, masya-Allah, masya-Allah.
Okay. Bukan doakan guru selamat
Okay.
Then if for your kind attendance today, I hope it has been very beneficial lah. Kalau siapa protes this is not so good, just let me know. I will refund you the $5 lah. Ada protes? Tak ada? That's it. I hope this is beneficial for all. Like I said, hopefully this will be our first and hopefully not the last. Kalau there is anything that you think the Muslim community at large will benefit from any sessions with regards to property insurance, you talk to insurance people, then you approach any one of us. And for us guys, we should never leave behind the ladies, because with the ladies we would have air lah, keropok lah, kuih raya lah, semua, everything will be settled. So for us guys, bila kita nak do this, thanks to the ladies for helping us out.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma inna nas'alukal huda wat tuqa wal afafa wal ghina. Allahumma hdina siratal mustaqim siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim minan nabiyyin wasiddiqin wasyuhada'i wasalihin wa hasuna ulaika rafiqa. Allahumma arinal haqqa haqqan warzuqna ittiba'ah wa arinal batila batilan warzuqna ijtinabah. Allahumma inna nas'aluka min khairi ma sa'alaka minhu 'abduka wa rasuluka Muhammadun sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa na'udzubika min syarri ma sta'adha minhu 'abduka wa rasuluka Muhammadun sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma aktub asma'ana ala abwabil jannati thamaniyah wa akrimna bil firdausil a'la minal jannah. Allahumma inna na'udzubika minal hammi wal hazan wa na'udzubika minal ajzi wal kasal wa na'udzubika minal jubni wal bukhl wa na'udzubika min ghalabati ad-daini wa qahri rijal. Allahumma la tada' lana fi maqamina hadha dhanban illa ghafarta wa la hamman illa farajta wa la karban illa nafasta wa la daynan illa qadaita wa la maridan illa shafaita wa la hajatan min hawaiji dunya wal akhirah illa antana fi qada'iha ya arhamar rahimin. Allahumma Rabbana hab lana min azwajina wa dhurriyyatina qurrata a'yunin waj'alna lil muttaqina imama. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adzaban nar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Terima kasih Ustaz. For final, can everybody gather at the center of the auditorium so that we can take group picture?